The click.
Goodbye. We no like you.
Yellow. All right.
Are we rolling?
We are rolling. Let me turn that down just a tad.
Just a tad?
Just a tad.
Just a tad.
Just a tad. All right. Actually, let me turn yours down just a little bit.
Oh, yeah. I'm coming in hot tonight.
Coming in hot
with a handheld mic. I'm in the field reporter today.
But hell yeah. What's going on, everybody? Hell yeah.
Hell motherfucking yeah.
God, this is a great start. But hell yeah. What is...
You guys know what it is. You know what it is. We have the intro every time. Too high for TV. Two guys that get a little bit too high and talk about a little bit too much TV.
And we are some of your freaking hosts. Actually, we're not some of your hosts. We are your hosts.
We're the two.
We are the hosts.
The hostesses.
The hostesses.
That was weird because you usually say that part.
But it's all good, you know. We got to freaking switch it up. We got to freaking...
We got to get some variety.
We can't let them know our next move. What's going...
Speaking of variety.
We going live. We can't let them know...
We're going live. We're going recording.
Next freaking move. We can't let them know our next move. But what's going on, everybody? As Danny Boy said, this is Too High for TV, where two guys get too high and talk about a little bit too much motherfucking TV.
That's better.
I am one of the co-hosts, Ryan Madrano, and I got my guy to my right, your left. You know what it is if you're watching the video. Hopefully you are.
Hey, everybody. It's me, Danny Valdez.
Hell yeah. And we
you know what it is.
And we got one of our guys here today. You might be wondering, why the hell are you all wearing red fucking beanies? Well, it's because we got a little themed episode coming up for you today.
Yes, we do.
And you know, it's a Wes Anderson themed episode today. You know, we're getting into our little indie artsy bag when it comes to the movies, because you know, you guys are probably sitting there like, damn, these guys just watch Marvel movies all the time.
A lot.
You guys just, you know, Oscar Isaac, Sebastian Stan. You guys don't know.
We're gonna expand our repertoire. We're gonna expand the repertoire.
But yeah, we're going to talk about a little bit of Wes Anderson today. And our guy Jacob over here, Wes Anderson is fucking one of his favorites. So
he's going to be our Wes Anderson aficionado tonight, aren't you? Yeah.
So Jake, why don't you introduce yourself, my guy?
Hi. How's it going?
But yeah, Jake's going to be here with us because we're talking about a couple of his favorite movies as well tonight. So we got... first on the list, I don't know first on the list, but just on the list in general, we have the Royal Tenenbaums.
Yep.
You know what it is, one of Wes Anderson's, not his first one. I think, you know, Rushmore was his first
third,
one.
right?
Yeah, second or third.
Yeah.
And then we also got the reason why we're wearing, you know, the red beanies and the blue shirts. We got The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou.
Yeah, I never knew that it had that. Zissou. I never knew that it had that little... Yeah.
Zissou.
That's wild.
Zissou Society.
Hell yeah. But, what's going on? Got one person in here? Yeah.
Oh, dang.
But yeah, we're going to be talking about a couple of those tonight. So, yeah, you know, I had to freshly ship the Amazon, the turtleneck, the blue turtleneck, and then the red hat. Had to pay homage to the GOAT Willem Dafoe, because you know, if you've ever seen The Life Aquatic, he rocks the blue turtleneck and they all got the red beanies because that is their uniform. But hell yeah, we're back, everybody. I hope you all listened to that 420 episode, and I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as we had fun recording it, because god damn it, I got so high last time.
I was baked last time too. Could you tell? Jacob was one of the ones who tuned in with us on the live. Could you tell?
I could tell a little bit.
We were pretty stoned. Yeah, we were lit, dude. Smoked a lot that time.
Yeah, that day I smoked a lot that day.
Like, I really... joints before you smoked 2 joints?
Yeah, smoked 2 joints before I smoked 2 joints.
And basically, did you smoke 2 more?
I smoked a joint before I smoked a joint, you know? And, gosh, I, looked at my eyes after, and they were super low. And then, if you noticed in the episode, the homie F made a surprise appearance. So, after we smoked a little bit, and I was like, gosh, I smoke a lot, and I'm never like... You know, I'm too stoned, man. I can't keep going. But I mean, you know, we finished the joint, but I was sitting there like, holy shit, I'm high as fuck. And normally at the end of the night, I'm not like that. Like, I'll just be like, well, you know, I'm high enough. You know, I could go to bed. You know, we're chilling. But that night, I was like rubbing my eyes. I was yawning. My eyes were watering and shit. And I was like, god damn. Because I was telling him, like, I mean, we both smoked a good amount. I smoked 2 pretty big joints, and you smoked 3 of them, and I was like, damn, Danny Boy outsmoked me. Danny Boy
No. To be fair, the thing you always have to remember that I keep in mind is you roll kings. I don't. So technically, you got more weed packed into yours than I do, so it probably evens out. You know what I'm saying?
I would say so.
Yep, I think it evens out.
Yeah, I would say so too.
Yeah,
that evens it out.
But we got Jake over here too. He's a big. We got a request for someone to be in the live. The homies from Hawaii.
What? Yeah. Damn,
Yeah.
bro.
My cousin. Wait.
Tuning in from other states, ladies and gentlemen. We have transcended the California sphere.
Hello.
Yo.
Hello. Coming into the podcast live from the beaches of Honolulu. I don't know what beach they're at, but I'm not at the beach, so you know what it is. What's up? Got the fam coming in live from Hawaii.
Our first ever live call, ladies and gentlemen.
Aloha. It looks like they're sipping on some White Claws. It looks like we have some underage drinking going on over there. I don't know. Can you guys? Oh, we got a baby asleep in the sand. God damn.
That's just all you want in a Hawaii picture.
Okay, go. Oh yeah, there we go.
That was awesome, bro.
That was great.
Our first live call-in, dude.
First live call-in.
That
Hey,
was
what's up?
that
We got
was great.
five. We got 5 people watching. What's going on? What's going on?
People
Hello.
who are down tonight.
But yeah.
All right, let's get into this a little bit. Yeah.
How?
The days.
Hold on. Yeah. How was your guys' day going on today? You know, we can get into our days a little bit. I still gotta roll up another one.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Jake, you want to start?
Yeah. How was your day, Jake?
How's your day today?
My day was good. It was relaxing. I
worked out 4 times today.
No. Not today, actually.
How many times? So, because I'll see you go to the gym like a couple times, no? Like
sometimes twice a day, no?
Yeah, twice a day sometimes. Yeah.
Damn.
At least like 3 times a week. I'll go like twice a day.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a regiment, man.
Yeah, or like on the weekend, I'll go like I'll do like a long workout, like a 3 or 4 hour workout, like on a Saturday or something. Like have some fun.
Oh shit.
Damn.
Yeah. Do
That's a
some fun
wow.
stuff.
Yeah.
That's a minute. So, but no workout today though. None at all.
Rest day.
No, dude. I overdid it this week, so I was like, I need relax.
I saw you took an ice bath earlier this week, dude.
Yeah.
That looked intense.
Yeah, I way overtrained. I just couldn't even walk, so I was like, I gotta get went and got 2 big bags of ice. Yeah.
That's how you help like recuperate faster. Like it helps your muscle tissue build back together quicker. Or what?
It does. Yeah.
That's wild, bro. That's some science.
Yeah, I noticed like
I
got sore faster after that for some reason. Like it takes like if you're sore for a few days. I was sore faster, but it was a shorter duration.
God damn.
When I got in though, my son was like sitting right there. He's like, "Oh, like I gotta watch this. This is crazy."
Yeah, fucking A, bro.
He's like,
it is crazy. Yeah, what the hell?
He's all, "Hang on, I'll be right back." He's all grabbing like action figures, like hopping on the ice and stuff. Hop on
He's
the
all
ice, like
as Dad submerged himself into the freezing water.
Day 23.
Yeah.
Dad is still under the ice. I don't know what to do. It's like Captain America. Is he gonna come back with powers? I have no clue.
We have no idea, folks.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking nuts. Because I remember I used to try to like rock the take a shower and like the last like 2 minutes. Oh, take a cold shower the last 2 minutes. It's gonna be good. Fuck no, I cannot do that shit.
That's how I take showers. Actually, I can't not take a shower like that now.
Jeez.
Yeah, I don't know why. I just started it ever since that whole like that Wim Hof guy, that like Iceman, that Norwegian guy or whatever.
That's the guy that wrong side. That's the guy that ran a freaking marathon in like nothing but his chonis in the snow, right?
Yeah, like up a
yeah,
mountain
bro,
or
like a
something
fuck, like feet and everything, dude. Like no shoes or nothing.
What?
Yeah.
Like this fucker can just like control his body temperature.
He's like literally Iceman, bro. He's like
it's insane.
Like
I think he had to like train.
They say he's like superhuman a little bit. Like the way he can handle cold.
There's there was this show. I don't know if you remember. I think it was literally called Stan Lee's Superhumans. That was like on like a cable like television channel or something like that, where like they would find people in real life who could do that shit.
Yeah.
Like I remember they had a Hawkeye one where there was this dude who could literally fucking take a bow and arrow. They threw a wedding ring up in the air. And he was able to fucking fire through it while it was falling.
I remember that. There was like a super strong dude who could just lift like a car or something like that. Yeah. Like I remember that.
It was a crazy old show.
Vaguely.
They should have me on there, and I'll just be the dude smoking like 10 joints back to back to back
Yep.
back to back. This man has iron lungs.
We could put you on Guinness, or we could put you on Ripley's.
He can't put the joint down.
Have the next one ready. Lighten it off the the end of the.
He was slowing down between the 5th and the 6th one, but then all of a sudden he smoked 7, 8, and 9.
It looks like he's rallying, folks.
He's picked up the 7th joint. I don't know. It looks really bad for the competition, everybody.
Seeing as how the rest of the competition is still on 5. We may have a winner in the books, ladies and gentlemen. Okay.
So what'd you do today, Danny boy? I know we talked about it a little bit
We
today.
did. My morning was spent on the recovery because I ladies and gentlemen, got a little bit too late last night and had to spend the rest of my day just sleeping it off, man. I always slept in a good long time today. I didn't wake up till about 2 o'clock, like 1:30, 2 o'clock. Yep.
Nice.
And once I did, I got up, I got ready real quick. I watched Royal Tenenbaums today. Woo! And then I went to a little like late birthday dinner for my grandpa over at Red Lobster in Salinas.
Shout out to all the grandpas.
Shout out to all the grandpas
Shout
out there.
grandpas.
It was real nice. His birthday was on Wednesday, April 27th. My grandpa is a Taurus.
My sister's birthday was on, what was that, Wednesday?
No way.
Tuesday, April 26th.
Dang, crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
Taurus gang.
Taurus gang. But yeah, it was a good time. I had a good time over at Red Lobster. Got to hang out with Diggs, who's made an appearance on this show before. I'm sure some of y'all remember.
Yeah.
And,
Our
yeah,
Moon Knight.
Dude, he just got a Moon Knight tattoo, bro.
What?
It's lit. It's
Really?
lit, bro. It's like right here on his forearm on this side. It's like an outline of like Mark Spector in the Moon Knight costume, but it doesn't quite have the hood yet. And then he showed me a picture of what he's going to do. He's going to have like Khonshu in the back, like on top of it.
Goddamn.
Like making the cloak and shit like that for him.
That's bad.
Oh, it looks badass, bro. I was like, holy fuck, dog. That's a kick-ass one.
God damn.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a good time, man. Got to hang out with family, eat some good food, get some good biscuits.
Biscuits.
You know you got to have some biscuits
Gotta have some biscuits.
at Red
man.
Lobster.
Oh yeah, that's what they're famous for, huh?
Yeah,
Oh,
hella
yeah.
good.
Little biscuit.
Hella
Yeah.
good.
What's
Yeah.
going on? Got people popping in and out over here. What's good? What's good?
I like it,
What's
man.
good,
It's really
everybody?
nice.
What's good, everybody?
Hey, guys. Thanks. Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show. You caught
Welcome.
Us, you caught us mid-show, guys. But yeah, that sounds like a freaking good day, dude. I heard you got turned at the Running Rooster
last night. I did.
Shout out to everybody that knows what the Running Rooster is.
Yeah, Hollister gang.
Shout out to Justin the waiter.
Yeah, honestly, shout out to Justin
that
the waiter.
guy's-
He was a great server, bro. He was
Ask for him
badass.
if you go there.
Yeah, he was great. But yeah, it was a good time. We had fun. Got a little bit of the crew out there. Everybody who was off at that time or so. It was nice.
I wish I could have gone.
I know, man. You had to close
Yeah,
yesterday.
dude. I was thinking, I was like, I really did want Ryan there. I was like, damn, I wish Ryan was here.
I know Des was like leaving. She's like, "Oh, so you're gonna go to Running Rooster later?" And I was like,
What do you freaking mean?
I was like, "No." And she was like,
Sure,
"Are you
I'll
just
just
like?" She was like, "Oh yeah." She was like, "I forgot."
It's like, it's not funny, Des.
I know Des. Shout out to Des, soon to be part of the SJB squad.
Oh, yeah. Fucking
Oh,
A.
yeah.
Moving to town. Lord, Des there.
Hello, Des. There.
The other day, bro, at work, she was calling like a meeting. You know how Amber does her like midday meetings?
Yeah.
Des was doing one. And we ran into the office, like into the lobby when she was done.
Uh-huh.
And me and Jake went, "Burr, burr, burr, burr." All attend for Lord Desadier.
God damn it.
Great, man. It was funny.
She's fucking hilarious, dude.
But yeah, it was a good time.
Hell yeah.
How was your day, my boy?
It was good, dude. The fam is in Hawaii right now, so I'm freaking
Going stag in the house, man?
yeah, so I'm freaking just chilling in the house by myself for 8 days. So
Very nice.
so like I was like kind of sad like driving to work yesterday because my parents left or my family left yesterday. So my mom, my dad, and my sister.
Mm-hmm.
So they left yesterday, and I was like, damn, I'm gonna come home and be because normally like on the weekends, you know, I'll kick it with my dad. I'll hang out with like my mom and like, you know, bullshit with my sister and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And obviously I couldn't go because, you know, growing and everything. I got to take care of the plants. You know, gotta sacrifice some things. You
Gotta
know,
sacrifice things for the kids.
I'm gonna be going to Hawaii soon, so don't worry. But
Nice.
but yeah. So to last night, like I was like or before I was going to work yesterday, I was like, damn, I'm gonna come home tonight. Like there's gonna be no one home. Like normally, like I'll come home and my mom would be still like on the couch. I'm like, you know, hey, what's up, mom? You know, blah blah. But and I came home last night. You know, there's some lights on, but you know, just
Nothing.
patches in the house. It was just all
Yeah.
quiet, and I was like,
At least you got patches.
yeah, exactly. So, you know, just, you know, went to bed, woke up nice and early, fed the plants this morning like I always do on a Saturday. Saturday's the feeding day. And then I think kind of just mostly chilled the rest of the day. You know, went to the store, picked up some stuff for that we're smoking on right now, and then came back, threw on the Life Aquatic and the Royal Tenenbaums again. Watched it early in the week, but I wanted to watch them again because they were just God damn it, they were just
They're
that
good-ass
good.
movies.
So yeah. Oh, shout out Damon. What's up? Ooh, shout out my grandma. She's in here. What's up? But yeah, that was basically my day. You know, had some good food yesterday because my grandparents live right behind me. So they were like, my grandma was like, "Oh, we left you some chicken strips and stuff like on the counter for when you get home." I was like, "Damn!" So I came home and I was like, "I wonder what kind of chicken strips they are," because I'm a chicken strip guy. I'm a chicken strip, and
this guy's a chicken strip.
I'm a straight up chicken strip, but I was like, "What kind are they?" So I was like, "Oh, I'll just snack on one real quick. Probably just snack on one, go to bed." And I was all baked, but as soon as I bit into it, I was like, "Damn, this chicken strip's next level." It was a fucking Safeway chicken strip, bro. Safeway's got some
the kind from the kitchen.
Yes,
damn
dude.
it, bro.
Safeway's got some fucking good ass chicken strips.
Yeah, fuck yeah, they do.
Because like sometimes you'll snack on some chicken strips, and after like 1.5, you're like it's same goddamn chicken strip, But dude, these like I snacked on a few before I went to bed last night, and it was like 11:30, and I normally don't like eating late like that, but I was like, oh damn, these are good. And maybe because I was like pretty high too, so but yeah, so
shout out to grandmas for always feeding us.
Straight up
shout out to grandmas.
Yeah,
for real,
if my like parents ever go anywhere, or like even my mom, like just because my mom's more of the one that like cooks regularly, my dad will cook, but he's not like he's not cooking every day. He works mainly graveyard shifts and stuff like that, so he's not looking to cook all the time. So like whenever like my mom goes somewhere and she knows like it'll be me and my dad just chilling, or like me and my sister, she'll whip some stuff up, like for sure. She'll like make some rice and beans and stuff like that, send them on over. Randomly she'll like make spaghetti, and like I'll just be walking through my backyard, and she'll be like, "Oh, come here," and I'm like going to the house like, "Oh, like what am I gonna talk about with my grandma this time?" She's like gives me a big ass pot of spaghetti, and I'm like, "Oh shit, cool, I'm fed for the next like 5 days." Like so yeah. So yeah, exactly. Shout out to all the grandmas out there.
Fuck yeah. Love you, grandmas, ladies and gentlemen.
That was basically my day. Went to the store, picked up some stuff, came back in, smoked, watched The Life Aquatic, and now we're here. Now we're going to talk about The Life Aquatic and the Royal Tenenbaums and stuff like that. So,
Jake, you want to give us a little background on your history with Wes Anderson? Do you remember what was like the first movie you saw with him?
Jeez, damn. I think the first time I like actually like looked up like who directed this was Moonrise Kingdom.
Oh yeah, Moonrise is good.
Yeah, Moonrise Kingdom. I was like, who like filmed this freaking movie? And I saw it was Wes Anderson, so I researched his films, and then I saw Grand Budapest.
Oh, I haven't seen that one. So
yeah, that was actually around that time. That was when Grand Budapest came out. I think that was in like 2016 or something like that. And yeah, so I'd watch Moonrise, Grand Budapest, and then Life Aquatic. Royal Tenenbaums, I didn't even like notice until like years later, actually.
Yeah, it's one of the early ones. It's one of his first ones.
It's one of his more earlier ones, but
I want to say it's the third movie he made, right?
Let's see. We can check this.
Because he has one that I can't remember the name of, and then he made Rushmore, and then I think it was this one next.
Yeah.
We can fact check this.
We have the ability to fact check on this show.
On the spot.
We're high tech like that, man.
So was it like you just you stumbled upon like Grand Budapest Hotel, or was it someone like, hey
Moonrise, right?
I think it was a coincidence at the time that it was coming out, and it, on the commercials, it'd be like, oh, Wes Anderson's next film or whatever, Grand Budapest Hotel. And I was just like, oh, dude, Wes Anderson, like that's the shit I've been watching.
Because I feel like Wes Anderson is one of those like directors, or like he makes those movies where I feel like they're such like they're such indie and like artistic movies where someone's like showing you those movies. I feel like it's very rare where someone's just like, yeah, man, like when I was like 6 years old, I just happened to throw on like Rushmore and shit like that.
Definitely.
I feel like a lot of the stories I hear, it's like, at least like one of my buddies, he was like, yeah, my stepdad like in middle school like put me onto like Wes Anderson. So
yeah,
makes sense. Yeah, it's
I stumbled upon it.
That's pretty amazing. Just stumbling upon that.
Yeah, my dad was the one who showed me Wes Anderson movies.
And I had probably seen like Fantastic Mr. Fox.
That's a good one, bro. I remember that was the first time I saw in theaters.
Like years before, and like not even thought it was like one of his films because it was like a claymation cartoon. Like I didn't think he did that.
Yeah, that's a different one for sure.
Yeah, that's a totally different one from him. But
he did that one, and then he also did like Isle of Dogs, like that.
Oh yeah,
that's also animated.
I started watching that one, but I never finished it. I never finished that one.
Yeah, I never saw that one either. Fantastic Mr. Fox is cool though, dude.
That one's great.
That's a fun one. That one's got Clooney the whole time. Yeah.
I remember seeing that like in all the previews and stuff like that whenever it was coming out.
Yeah, I feel like there was
and like I was just, that's the thing, like I was like, I remember seeing it and being like, because if like say you've never watched Wes Anderson, right, or you really don't know who Wes Anderson is, and you throw on the Royal Tenenbaums and then you throw on Fantastic Mr. Fox, you're not gonna be like, oh yeah, the same guy made these two movies,
exactly.
Yeah. And I remember like when it was coming out, like, oh, here's just another like kiddie like claymation like you know movie. Which I mean, those movies aren't technically like kiddie movies. I guess they just get that like they get that label put on them just because they are like more associated with
animation. You automatically think like a cartoon or something like that.
Yep.
But you know what's crazy though is it's like if you, because like you were saying earlier, right? Is it's like your second watch of Life Aquatic was like way different, right? Like way better. And so like if you go back and you compare Fantastic Mr. Fox to Royal Tenenbaums, you do still get the Wes Anderson similarities. Like, it's different because they're foxes that live underground, but, like, their little hole underground still has all the room switches and shit like that. And they're like, this is this guy's room.
Yeah.
And this is this person's hole or whatever.
Yeah, there's all that, like, nostalgic to it, too. Like,
yeah, he just has a theme, like, throughout everything.
Like, each farmer has his little thing, like, fucking cider or what else? I don't know what the other two things were. Fucking.
I can't remember.
I like that. I mean,
like one was grumpy, one was like fat, one was thin. Yeah, he has like all those little things.
Yeah, no, I mean that's what, because I'm fairly newer to like the Wes Anderson, you know, his movies and stuff like that. So I've been loving it. You know, just his style so like distinct and unique, and like his storytelling's is just fucking great because everything that he does in each movie like has a purpose. It never feels like there's a wasted shot or just like a wasted scene, you know. And like a lot of his movies aren't like, they're not long movies, right? Like I feel like we're in sort of like this era now where we're so used to like
over
if
2
it's
hours.
like if it's a good artsy movie, it's like a fucking 2.5 hour long movie. But it's like you watch something like a Moonrise Kingdom, it's like an hour and a half long, and it's a dense movie. Like you're watching, you're like, damn, like I feel like I'm sitting here for a few hours, but it's like no, it's just an hour and a half.
There's
long.
like just so many catchphrases that you just like pick up on that. Like,
and then the same with like, you know, Life Aquatic's like a longer movie. I feel like it feels like that just because it does have some pacing issues, which I feel like
toward the end,
which we'll get into, but it's just like that's even still like barely 2 hours, and that's like, you know, 2 hours with like the credits and shit like that.
No, it's not bad. Nothing. I don't think, at least of the ones I remember seeing, like I don't think anything exceeds 2 hours.
No.
Yeah.
No.
None of them are longer than that, which is kind of nice. We were talking about this in the 420 episode. Like sometimes that's what you want, right? Like you don't want wasted space. Like it's fun in all the Marvel flicks and DC movies to get all the big action sequences and awesome stuff, but at the end of the day, they're substanceless, right? Like they're just for show. Yeah, like it is wasted time.
I feel like whenever we go watch those movies, like there'll always be like oh yeah, I could have done without this scene right here. Like, you know, this scene didn't really like make sense. Whereas like, you know, where I'm watching like
these movies.
When I'm watching a Life Aquatic, the Royal Tenenbaums, you know, Moonrise Kingdom, shit like that, it's like no, okay, that scene had, you know, so much purpose to it, and then you go back and watch and you're like, oh, okay, like that, like it holds, like I was saying, like when you go and watch the Life Aquatic back, because I watched it twice this week, like you watched it the first time, I was like, all right, cool, this is good. I definitely like the Royal Tenenbaums more, but the Life Aquatic was still really, really good. But then I went back and watched it a second time. I was like, damn, this was even better the second time because you understand what's going on, and so you're able to pick up on like a lot of more of like the little things, like the little themes that are going on between all the different characters versus just like, focusing on like just trying to pick up what's going on throughout the whole movie, because it is we were talking like it's a movie that jumps kind of everywhere. We
were talking about this before, how like when you first watch one of his movies, like you're in shock. You're just like, what's going on here? Like you're trying to figure out the story and everything. So it's almost like you have to go back again and like watch it a few times.
He just breadcrumbs you the whole way. Like it's just little tidbits of information. Yeah. But like so fast and so funny and like so dry that it's like hard not to love.
Yeah,
and sometimes you won't even find it funny at first, and then if you go back and watch it again, you're like, oh dude, that was like a that was a comedic point. Like why didn't I laugh at that before?
Yeah, cool. Well, because I feel like sometimes you're watching it, right, and when you, because by the look of it, you can tell it's a very artistic movie. So I feel like once you kind of are looking at it from that lens, you kind of want to take it a little bit more serious. So sometimes you might not laugh at those things. Sure. So like when I was watching stuff like Moonrise Kingdom, or like, you know, sometimes at points in like the Royal Tenenbaums where there's some like serious stuff going on, but it's like it is that dry sort of humor. You're just kind of like, should I laugh right now? Should I not laugh? Like, but then you do laugh, and then you're just like, this is fucking.
It's part of his shtick. It's
like in Moonrise Kingdom, like the hella sad part, like when the dog, like the dog gets freaking hit by the arrow, and it's like, was he a good dog? And he's pulling out things, he's like, who knows? God damn it. It's like all fucked up.
Just straight up though, honestly, like
it's like who knows?
I didn't know this fucking dog. Yeah.
But all right, let's get it.
Let's do Life Aquatic. Yeah, I think we started to do it. Yeah.
Cool. So let's get into Life Aquatic. If you haven't watched it, it's a movie from 2004 about Steve Zissou. He is a documentary movie maker.
Yeah.
Basically,
like a marine
biologist
movie maker. Yeah.
And like when we catch him in the Life Aquatic, he's on like what is it, like his 12th film or something like that?
So.
Like something pretty.
He's made a lot.
Pretty nuts.
Yeah.
And he's at sort of like this point where he's at the top, and he's making this new film, and you see like it's kind of not like the most well received, right? Or at least it seems like the past couple films he's made haven't been the most well received. And then to go along with it, you see in the beginning this new documentary, part 1 to this documentary that he's making his best friend Esteban,
which is like an older man.
Yeah, which is an older man. His mentor. He gets eaten by a jaguar shark. So
crazy.
Some fucking crazy shit.
That's what he calls it.
Like new. But it's like some new species jaguar shark. Yeah.
You kind of get the vibe that it's set in like an older time, like maybe 60s, 70s, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
From the gadgetry and such.
I would say
Yeah. And like the submarines and everything.
Like the gadgets and stuff. Yeah, like 60s, 70s.
Yeah, so this movie is basically, takes place after the events of his friend Esteban dies, and his whole thing is he wants to find the shark and kill it to get revenge for Esteban. So you kind of go along with him and his crew as they, go along on this voyage to find where the shark is and also find themselves along the way.
Yeah.
Because, as much as it is like, just kind of this weird, funny, comedy, action-y sort of movie, there is like a really like heavy like theme to it. Which there is to a lot of Wes Anderson films, which I think why, like, upon the second watch, I appreciated this one a lot more, is because you kind of get to pick up on, like, the heaviness and some of the little things that happen in the movie you hold a little bit more weight. So I like this one a lot. Is it my favorite? I still like the Royal Tenenbaums a lot more, but overall, I like this a lot. I feel like Bill Murray he just crushes it, I'm a big Bill Murray fan.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
And I think this was definitely a period in time where like kind of Wes Anderson sort of like, kind of revived his career a little bit, especially like in the early 2000s, like he was a big, from like Ghostbusters and stuff like, like shit in like the 80s and stuff. And, late 90s, early 2000s wasn't like, Bill Murray era, but, you have him, with Wes Anderson and, people like Luke and Owen Wilson and all these characters that are cast in these Wes Anderson films kind of revived his career. And then I guess you can say that it's sort of like, subjective, right? You can say, someone fell off or someone didn't fall off, but Bill Murray's always great, and he's freaking great in this film, which I love him because he brings this funny, dry humor, which like we were talking about right now, like sometimes it's hard to like laugh at. You don't know if you should laugh or if you shouldn't, but it's fucking, he does a great job as, someone that he is a father, and he's trying to be a father, but also trying to complete this voyage. So it's, I don't know, it's fucking, it's a great movie.
Funny.
It's fucking great.
I love in the like early on in the movie, like when they're doing the interview after the preview, right? It's like one of the good funny early ones. Is they're like, "Oh, are there any scientific reasons for you going after the shark?"
Revenge.
Yeah.
I love how the whole movie, just as a captain, even though he's kind of like a shitty captain at times, like he just has like so much confidence. Just
he does.
Do this, do that, do this. He just like walks through his boat just like with such.
I think you see that like at some point in their past on the boat, like the crew loved him and he was a good captain because you see them at some point like sitting all together watching one of the old flicks when they like discover like a penguin like species or some shit in the Antarctic like waters, and they're like, it used to be like that, like, and then like, you know what I mean? And then he's like standing in the doorway, of course, like blah blah blah. But like,
because we've caught them at this point, right, where he's
in decline almost. Like,
he's sort of in decline.
He's almost a rock. He's like, it's like this is basically him hitting rock bottom, kind of, right? Or
I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily. It's hitting rock bottom, but it's like it's the fall from greatness, right? So it's like he's been at the top for so long, and then now like having some films that aren't well received when you've been at a certain height. And you've kind of,
lost the magic.
Yeah, you kind of lost the magic a little bit. It, it kind of hurts and it kind of sucks. So I wouldn't say it's necessarily rock bottom because he's still able to
make movies.
Yeah, make movies, get a bunch of money to kind of go and do whatever he
wants
money
to do. Is a problem in this one though, which is funny. It's pretty great. Yeah. There's a couple times. But no, definitely. He's got. It's wild that people will just go to the premieres like for years and years after they are not hitting.
Okay, I mean it.
But that's what his name is. Like he has a whole, and it's not just like a name, right? It's like he has like a whole society, like, right? The Steve Zissou Society.
The Zissou Society.
Or the Zissou Society, yeah. Like where it's like this whole like almost like Boy Scout type thing, but for like oceaners and shit like that or whatever. Oceanographers. Yeah,
like National Geographic type.
Yeah, like
society.
join the community and shit.
join the
Yeah, like people write
community.
letters to him and stuff all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, it's more than just like the documentaries and shit like
We'll
that.
send him a
too.
red cap and a Speedo.
God damn it, that shit's so good.
I need me a fucking red cap and a speedo. Oh, I have a red
I was
cap.
gonna
I just need
say.
the speedo, bro.
It's like twice. He's like, oh yeah, we'll send him a red cap and a speedo. It's just like a cool. Send him a thank you card.
Oh, yeah.
God damn it.
What was your guys' like favorite point like in this movie? You would say, because I mean I have a few. Like I would say like favorite like funny part was like when they get when the pirates sort of invade their ship, you know, right?
Yeah,
and they get boarded and they're you know get all their shit taken, and you have Bill Murray who's all his crew's captured. He's tied up and he's kind of going through these flashbacks of when Esteban got eaten, right? And he kind of doesn't, right? He doesn't want anyone else to die. He doesn't want shit to happen like like it happened again. So freaking he like summons all his strength, right? This is something I noticed upon the second watching. So when that shit starts, when the pirates come, like the like filter, like the color for it sort of has like this weird sort of like darker filter to it, and then he has those flashbacks, and then like the last part of the flashback is him when he has those, right, when Klaus says, oh, he's got the crazy eyes,
yeah,
and then he kind of snaps out of it, and then all of a sudden you have this like this warmer sort of feel, like this filter to,
it's like this enhanced adrenaline.
Exactly. So it's sort of like he's like snapped out of it, right? He's sort of like, fuck it, I can't be this captain that's just kind of standing by the side, like I gotta do something. So he snaps out of it, and he fucking breaks out, he whips out this gun where I don't know where the fuck he got this gun from, and then he just starts going on this like John Wick, this kind of cheesy 80s sort of like,
it's awesome,
the shootout scene, which
takes out the whole boat, bro.
It was great. Like, and it's funny, right? Because you can nitpick that scene and be like, where did the gun come from? And he's shooting this gun, like how many bullets does this fucking gun have? But it's like that's the point of it, because this whole movie you don't really know like what's real and what's fake, right? Because it's a documentary, but they're staging a lot of the stuff, and he's this guy that is sort of like, he's always kind of going out on a whim because he doesn't really know everything, but he kind of acts like he knows everything.
Definitely.
So that's why a lot of people believe in him, because he's able to like really make them believe like he's like, all right, cool, I know everything that's going on. So
well, part of what they kind of set up, I think, too, is it's like his wife, Eleanor, right? Yeah, she's like the brains of the operation. And on this final like
voyage,
part 2, she decides not to come along for like the first half. She's not there, and so like that's when shit gets pretty rough. That's when they get attacked by the pirates, all that shit or whatever. Yeah, so like he's like, you get the sense that he's like one half of the captainship. You know what I mean? Like if they're both there, then it does run like a pretty clean ship. Like shit goes better, gets
smoothly,
better. Afterwards. Yeah,
that is true. Shout out to Eleanor.
She's funny, bro.
Yeah,
she's in. Both of them are in fucking Tenenbaums as well, too.
Yeah, I like that scene when he's sort of like watching that interview that he had with Esteban, and they're like, people say that Eleanor is the brains of Team Zissou. Like, what do you think? What do you think Steve is? And Esteban's like, he's the Zissou. That shit's funny. But it's also like heartwarming because like you watch it and you're like, oh, that's funny. But it's heartwarming because he's sitting there like missing like his friend and like
and you also feel like Esteban in that moment too, kind of like, it's not just like he's saying like it is funny, right? And it's jokey, but the way he like grabs him and is like talking to him, it's also like he's the magic.
The heart. He's the heart of it all,
the Zissou,
right?
Like,
Eleanor's the brains of it, but he is the heart of like know.
Exactly. And so that was his friend that believed in him. So obviously when he's gone, he's gonna have a fucked up time trying to find that magic again. Yeah,
those are the beautiful parts of like the movie that you see like when you watch it like a couple times, right? Just because like that, I would have to say like the first time I watched it, like I wasn't super invested into like probably the first half of the movie. Like what got me into it was that one scene that I talked about with the freaking Steve doing that whole John Wick sort of freaking shootout and shit, right? Yeah. That's what the first time I watched it, that's what like hooked me into it. But then once you finish it and you kind of see where it ends and you have all the heaviness to it with all the stuff that goes on like with Ned and all these all the other crewmates and stuff like that. The beginning sort of it's really good. Like it's really, really, really good setup.
We haven't even gone into Owen Wilson and who his character is. Basically.
Oh yeah.
So like early on, right after the premiere, actually, Owen Wilson is like one of the people who asks the question, right? And he doesn't ask him like right there on the spot, right? What does he say? I don't know. He asks him something about the movie, and then afterwards he's like going to talk to him, and basically lays it on him. He's like, "Oh, I'm pretty sure I'm your son."
Yeah. He's like, well, he even Steve was like, oh, I've heard of you.
Yeah.
I know your mother. Yeah, I remember your mother.
Yeah.
Yada yada.
Yeah, because as we come to find out later, Steve actually is fully aware of who he is. Right?
Yeah, the whole time. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not really sure, and as far as I understand, it doesn't seem like they really ever clarify whether or not he actually is his father or not.
Yeah. Because when I watched it the second time, there is that scene with Eleanor and what's the reporter's name?
Jane.
Yeah. Where she's like
Cubby.
Where she basically says like, "Oh, Steve shoots blanks."
Yeah.
So they're like, and then you're like,
so that part throws you off a little bit, like, okay,
she's
what?
like, yeah, he spent half his life underwater.
Mm-hmm. But I think that's the whole point of it, right? Because Ned's gone his whole life without having a dad.
Yeah.
He's just had his mom this whole time, and now he's at this point of his life where he doesn't have either of his parents. So he's kind of just going out there, and he just wants to find someone that is his dad. He just wants to believe wholeheartedly that Steve is his dad, because that gives him that gives him this place, that gives him like a family in a sense, right? A family,
a place on this family that he's created. Like,
exactly.
Like a thing that he's been
Steve
a part of.
Steve just lost Esteban, so they like both kind of lost somebody
Most definitely
at the same time. So they're like both clashing at like a time in their life when,
they're going through the same shit, man.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah,
similar.
And that's another like big theme to this like movie is like, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter that whether or not Ned is his son or not, and I think that's why Wes Anderson probably left it like up in the air like that. Is because like the whole theme of like this movie is that like your family isn't necessarily like your blood relatives. Your family is just like the good people that you surround yourself with, right? Like the whole crew, they're all family, and it's like none of them are actually like related. Freaking Klaus is German. You got people that are born in different parts of like the world, but like
bunch of interns from college.
But it's like when you surround yourself with people that like are not, I don't want to necessarily say like-minded, but you guys get along, and you guys are there for each other, and you guys are always doing things for each other. Like that's what family is, right? People that are always there for. So like that's like the whole theme. So like at the end of the day, it doesn't matter that Ned is or isn't biologically Steve's son, but he is his accepted son at the end of the day, because like at the end of the day, Steve's accepted that, and then I think Eleanor also wanted that at the end of the day, because Eleanor's wanted kids too. That's the conversation that they had, right? When he goes back to the island, and Steve's having that conversation with her, like, what happened to me? Like, did I fall off?
He says, he's like, oh, I mean, we were too old, right? He's like, or is that a cop out? And then she's like, well, I was only 30, so yeah, it's kind of a cop out.
Yeah, it's a major cop out.
It's funny.
That's like that's another part that like hits, for like the movie, the whole like the family thing, right? And it's also just like being part of something that's like greater, not necessarily being like, because I just think us as like people and like humans, we all just like search to be just a part of something greater, right? Like as much as people will say, oh, we're all individuals, and I just, I'm cool by myself. Like, we all just want to be a part of something at the end of the day. And that's what everyone is that's in this movie. Like, whether it's Ned, who wants to be there because he just wants to be, he wants to have a dad, he wants to have a family. Or whether it's Jane, who wants to be there because she's like
also in need of a father, but the father to her baby, right?
Father to her baby, and then also because like Steve's like her idol, and she wants to like meet her idol and like be there, and like
she fronted everything, right? You find out later that like he's like talking to her or whatever, and he's like, oh, what'd they put up for this? Like, why'd you take this job or whatever? And she's like, oh, fuck you, like I fucking fronted this whole shit myself, motherfucker.
She's like, I wanted to do the story
because it's trippy. They do a good job of showing, I think, the magic that he used to have, and like everything that like the Zissou Society like was at
he's
one
almost
point.
like a has-been.
Definitely, like it's the end. It feels like the end of his career.
Yeah, he's definitely like
or
a
just
has-been.
The magic he's made people to perceive, right? Because it's not necessarily that like he has like, I mean, he does have this magic because he's able to like keep this crew of people together, but it's not necessarily like himself, because it's him and Eleanor.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's not really till like this movie, I think this part of his life that we're seeing in the movie, that he realizes just like how important it is just to be like just the heart of it, and not necessarily, because I think up to this point he's been doing a lot of shit for like peer acceptance, right? Acceptance amongst like his peers, people like Captain Hennessy and freaking the guy that fronts or that pays for a lot of the stuff. I forgot what his fucking name is.
It's fucking Dumbledore, bro.
Yeah, freaking Dumbledore.
It's the actor who plays Dumbledore, dude.
Yeah.
The British man.
Yeah. And by the end of the movie, Steve's kind of just like, he's he's not necessarily doing things for acceptance anymore, because you see him when all the movies premiered. He's not there watching it with everybody.
No.
He's not there like caring about what everyone's gonna watch. He's out there just chilling because he's like, all right, cool. I've done that, and I'm doing it for like the joy of everything.
Yeah.
Now, so we've got this nice like fucking great
Yeah, he's back to
character.
it again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. It's a good turnaround for him. I like it a lot. He goes through a lot in this movie. It's crazy. It's hardcore. Like,
I mean, yeah.
almost losing his crew in like various different scenarios.
Yeah.
Fucking
And then
learning that his son is maybe his son or not, and then
he loses his son
fucking
too.
A, dude.
Yeah.
That shit was a hardcore scene.
Yeah.
That's definitely a standout one. I don't think it's my favorite moment, but that was definitely a standout scene where they filmed it.
There's a helicopter crash, and on a sketchy helicopter. And,
Yeah. Fucker goes down over the water. It's fucked too, because like it's basically after like Steve has given up, I think, and he's like kind of done like by the end of the movie, and then Ned is kind of just like,
well, after
let's take the old whirlybird out. Oh yeah,
after the big rescue and
the
everything.
island. Yeah,
Yeah, after the whole rescue.
because they go after the fucking bond salesman.
Yeah, after the bond salesman.
Yeah.
Never seen a bondsman stick his neck out like that.
Yeah, that's his fucking one-liner after all that battle scene on the boat. Yeah, but yeah, it's filmed really well. They go up, they go down, and then Steve like crashes up from the water, and then he's like screaming out for Ned or whatever.
Ned.
Yeah, and then he like
Sort of some Wilson vibes, some Castaway vibes.
Yeah. Also very reminiscent of fucking him crying out for Esteban too.
Yeah.
Dude. He's reliving his trauma. Like he's and fucking same shit, dude. He goes over, finds him, and like I think you can kind of already get the sense that like it doesn't look good because like he's hanging on there like pretty loose, like floating in the water, and he's talking kind of slurred and shit like that, like very slow compared to like the adrenaline filled like Steve, right?
Yeah.
And they have this cool thing where like the water keeps like coming up over the camera, and then eventually slowly just like more and more red starts to fill it, and it's like,
so something happened to him.
Damn,
They don't actually show anything. They just show the red, and then you just and then it goes to just a cutscene of them like burying him, I think.
Well, he comes up on the shore.
Yeah, it comes up on the shore. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like carrying him, and he drops him. Yeah,
that was great.
That was hardcore.
Because I really didn't think he was gonna die at that point. Like I was just like,
I thought he's gonna. They're both gonna make it out.
Okay, so like first watch, right? I'm sitting there and I'm watching it, and I'm like, fuck. Okay, what happened? Like what happened to him? Like holy shit. And the reason I say I said Castaway is I literally like before watching, I think I watched like a video where it was like top 5 like most sad like imaginary friend deaths, right? And it was like I think like Wilson was like number 1, and it's because like it's kind of shot similar with Tom Hanks in the water, and he's like, Wilson, Wilson, I'm sorry, and he's like swimming away, and it kind of is shot the same way when like fucking Steve comes out of the water and he's like, Ned, Ned, and kind of like the way he's looking around. And so like when I'm first watching, I'm like, oh shit, like did Ned die? Because like you do have like when they crash, like it's like quiet, and then you have those little like cuts, right? Those little like, those super, and then it's like
water,
you get like
bubbles and all
water, and then you get like a red screen, and then you see like the helmets that they're wearing, right? You see the helmet that Ned's was wearing, like kind of like swirling around, and then that was like super quick, and then then he finds him, and he's like saying slurred words, and I'm like, okay, he might be dying, but okay, also he might just hit his head hella hard, like some shit could have happened. And then like you're saying, like the shot is pretty nuts, and then it's not anything like super sudden, like you see it, and like you're like, oh, this is great camera work, like, oh, I feel like I'm in the water, the water rushes over, and then and then at one point you see just like a drop of blood on the camera, and you're like, like
what
at least
fuck?
me, I was like, holy shit.
And
then you see when you go under the water, it's all red, and you're like, oh my god, and then he freaking like he just like dies, and I'm like, oh, I almost cried, dude. Like it was so sad.
It was
like,
sad. It was fucked.
Because when I watched the first time, I'm like, I'm invested at that point. They have that nice little scene because Owen Wilson's the one that gets, Ned's the one that gets them to go on that helicopter to go fly there. Like it wasn't like
let's
Steve.
Take this whirlybird up in the air one more time.
Exactly. It wasn't like Steve was like, yeah, let's go do this. And then there was also that point earlier in the movie when they first fly the helicopter, and he's like, oh, he's like, are you licensed? He's like, well, not really. He's like, I can fly, but I'm not
he's
exactly
like, do you know
licensed.
how to fly one of these? He's all, yeah, but I ain't licensed to.
And he stayed reform.
Exactly. And then he was like, oh, when was this like last summer? He's like, oh, I don't know. Class was supposed to do it every 6 months. So you're just like, oh shit, So when they're flying, it's like just goes down. You're like, oh fuck.
God damn it.
But
it's a pretty sad moment. Yeah. I was very shocked for sure. I did not think that was what was gonna happen. Like, yeah, that definitely threw me for a loop. I was
Why
like,
did you prepare
what
me,
the
Jacob?
fuck? Yeah,
Why did you
dude. I was
prepare
like,
me for the
holy
heartbreak,
shit, dude.
Yeah, that was the one. Yeah, that was the one.
That was a harsh one. Yeah, it is kind of a
point.
sad movie. Yeah.
Yeah, because the whole point, you think like the whole island thing. You're like, oh, that was like the climatic. They like rescue the bond seals and all that.
Everything seems fine
And you're
after
like, oh,
that.
okay, it's gonna taper off. They're gonna like maybe find the shark or something, and he's gonna get his way or something. He's gonna because he wanted to blow it up, so he's maybe they find the shark and blow it up or something like that.
Yeah.
And then
Fuck,
they just
dude.
take Ned
Tim's
out.
out of nowhere.
Fuck no, man.
Because that's what they're doing too, right? Is it's like he's like, I'm ready to call it. Let's go. And he's like, no, we're like around the area where we last got like tracking from the shark, like our radars and shit like that. So he's like, let's just go and try to look. He's like, let's take one last look. And he's like, okay.
It's like,
go
something striper or something.
Yeah.
Like a rainbow. Like they see it in the water or something like that.
Yeah. And that is honestly my favorite part of the movie right there is when they actually do go down and finally find the shark.
Oh yeah.
That shit made me cry. I was like, fuck, bro. Because it's just so
dude,
satisfying the whole time.
How they all fit in that freaking submarine.
Yeah.
There's
But the
like
way they're
20
laid
of
out
them.
too, though, bro, it's beautiful. Because it's like the whole entire cast of characters in like a perfect like diamond, like going outwards. Like everybody has their spot. And like you kind of get the sense in the beginning and throughout the movie that like they're not really sure what he saw because he got attacked and saw his friend shoot up in an instant, right? Like he's not going to have full perfect recollection of what happened. So like he calls it the jaguar shark and like everybody's like, what is it? And he's like, I don't fucking know. Like we're going to find out in part 2 basically, right? And so the satisfaction of actually seeing it, and it was like a gorgeous moment, dude. Like it was beautiful. They were very, very deep under the water, so it's like super dark. And he comes out and it's like kind of this glow and it's literally like a shark with jaguar stripes on it. And I was like, oh, it's a fucking jaguar shark.
It's a jaguar.
I was like, oh my God, he found it. Like I felt like I was part of the Zissou society, bro. Like watching the movie and like watching him find it and shit, you know?
You were part of Team Zissou at that point?
I was fucking part of Team Zissou, bro. It was great. That was my favorite part of the movie. Very satisfying. I felt like everybody at that point too, like puts their hand on him. They're kind of like, you did it. Dude. Yeah. Like you did it. You got, it's all good. It's going to be okay.
Like, really,
and because also he like let go of like all that sort of like anger that he had, you know?
Yeah.
Because he was like we said, he was going on this mission for like revenge.
He was out to kill it.
Yeah, I want
sure.
revenge. And then he saw like how beautiful it was, and that kind of brought him back to just like his old younger, just like man of the sea, you know, like
it's like he remembers his mission.
Because
he's there to discover and document.
Because Jane has that. There's that moment where she like reads like I think like a quote from what's like his mentor's name, like the captain before him.
I can't remember. Let me see if I can find it.
But where she basically says like, where the quote like says like, oh, I've never seen, like, to sum it up, like I'm paraphrasing, like basically he's never seen like a person that young like just like love the sea like so much. So you kind of get the sense that in this movie he's like lost it, and so by the end he's like gained that back because he sees the shark close up and he's like, oh my God, this is like so beautiful, and like, you know, just kind of like lets it go, and it's like you know, just kind of like letting go of your problems, like, you know, at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Beautiful shit. What was your favorite part, Jacob?
Shit.
Lord Mandrake. Sorry.
Lord Mandrake.
Lord Mandrake.
Lord Mandrake. Fuck.
That was his name, yeah.
The homie F. Ooh, the homie F. I see him in the freaking...
Hey, in the
just
live.
Joined. Yep.
All right, so what was your favorite moment? Do you have one, or is there just too many? Because like before we started watching it, you had like doled out a few of the one-liners in the back while we were at work.
Yeah.
And every single time they came on, I was like, holy shit, he got it perfectly. Like, like every single time.
Throughout the movie, a lot of his one-liners. I love like all his one-liners. I like how the movie starts out. I like how they...
We didn't even talk. We have the fucking Campari here.
Oh, yeah. His
you totally forgot.
Yeah. Steve Zissou is a drinker of Campari on the rocks and a smoker of joints.
Oh,
yeah,
dude,
is.
yes.
That shit's funny.
Throughout the movie, he'll like sneak off like subtly. You'll just see him like sneak off when he's having like a stressful moment, and he'll just like be smoking a joint.
Yeah.
So like get through his shit. Yeah.
Hold on. Can you give me a minute?
Yeah.
Sorry, you caught me with 1 foot off the merry-go-round.
Yeah.
Yeah, freaking isn't it after the shootout and stuff, the one of the interns clean up, he's like, intern, can you give me a Campari? The intern's like, on the rocks, and he's like,
Yeah, that shit's so good.
His snap is fucking
Dude, his
great.
snap
Perfect.
is so fucking great. He's
Yeah.
just
Because if you notice, there's a part where they go underwater, and it's the part where Ned asks him if he can call him dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, and then they finish up. He's like, "All right, let's go." And he like snaps, and you hear
You
the
hear
snap
it.
like perfect underwater.
Yeah, it's funny.
That's something that I caught the second
great.
time where I was just like, where I was like, "Damn, that's
Yeah.
hella funny."
I just love like all the awkward parts too, dude. Like fucking isn't like Ned's in the sauna. Oh, they have like a sauna with like a Swedish masseuse in the fucking on the ship. Like
Yeah.
just all those like little aspects of the ship. They're just hilarious. Fucking anyways, like Ned's in the fucking in the sauna with talking to somebody and like having a serious conversation, and then two dudes come in with fucking speedos and jump in like eating a fucking sandwich, and one's eating like a fucking banana, just like super fucking awkwardly like okay dude, all right.
It's great. That's one of the things too that's also great throughout. Like, hey,
What's good?
oh yo, it's Danielle.
It's
Oh,
Danielle.
yeah.
What's up, guys? We just got
Hey.
another. It's another
Hey,
person
another
joining the
live
live.
call.
It's Danielle and Frankie. Shout out to Danielle. She's the one that made our great artwork. Hit her up on Instagram at Demise Designs.
Hell yeah, dude.
What's going on? What's going on? We're just talking about Wes Anderson shit. You know, The Life Aquatic.
Yep.
Aquatic.
Hell yeah.
You better fucking put it
gotta
on
check
right
it
now.
Yeah,
out,
you better
dude.
watch it.
It's
You better
hella
watch it right now.
It's good.
We all have matching outfits
Mhm.
for the crew. The crew wears matching shit.
All right. Well, yeah.
But yeah,
Stoned as fuck.
hey, we're
That's the
stoned
goal.
as we're
We're-
stoned as fuck too.
we're
Yeah,
getting
we
there.
are.
Too high for
I
TV.
need to
Yeah.
get another one going.
You're not stoned. You're too high for TV. That's what you are right
That's
now.
exactly right.
Yes, I am.
But hell yeah.
Woo!
But y'all out there listening to the podcast, keep an ear out for Danielle and Frankie. We're definitely gonna have them on in a future podcast in a couple weeks. You know what I'm saying? Look, you know what I'm saying? A little sneak peek to a future episode.
Sounds good.
Hell yeah.
You know, we're super scheduled. We're super
Yeah.
planned.
Yeah,
we always
guys.
have things working out.
Hell yeah.
All right, guys. Kick ass. Love y'all.
Love you
Love
too.
you too.
Thanks
Love
for
you too.
checking in.
Hell yeah. Thanks for tapping in.
Woo!
Bye, bye.
Bye. Dude, we need to figure out how we can like plug the phone into like
I
the
know, get a
mixer.
mic. I think we can
figure that
do
Oh,
out.
and
it,
have
yeah.
like
Yeah.
So that way it'll be clear when they come in.
So when people come in.
Yeah, definitely.
Where were we? What were we talking about?
I think we were getting relatively close to the end of Life
Yeah.
Aquatic for the most part.
I'm
The
sad that
soundtrack,
they,
the soundtrack.
Is
Oh.
Yeah, the
great.
soundtrack.
Mhm.
So good.
For both of
yes.
these movies we're talking about tonight, the soundtrack
Soundtrack's always
is
awesome.
freaking on
Wes
point.
Anderson is always
Yes, but the soundtrack is really good. It's very Bowie based.
a lot of
I lo-
Bowie.
yeah.
Yeah, a lot of Bowie.
I love the
a
different.
lot of covers.
yeah, a
of
lot
Bowie
of covers.
too.
And
Bowie
like,
in Portuguese. That shit
yes,
was great.
Yeah,
that was
that's- it's
fantastic.
sick, yeah.
Holds a place in my heart because I'm Portuguese. You know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
Yeah.
I was playing it kind of loud, and I was hoping my grandpa would kind of hear him singing in
yeah.
Portuguese. So I was hoping he'd kind of, "What are you watching?" You know what's up, Grandpa? I'm watching The Life Aquatic.
Check it out.
Yeah.
I'm watching The Life
Watch,
Aquatic. Oh, with Bill Murray? Hell yeah, with Bill motherfucking Murray. But yeah, the first I think David Bowie song that comes on is when right after Ned and Steve have that conversation about like whether
Yes,
he's the kid,
that
and he like is
fucking,
walking up,
what?
sailors.
Fighting in the day. Yeah, fucking dude,
That
that's a
shit's-
good song.
Shit almost made me, dude. Because I love shit like that because
it goes
it's
hard,
like
because he
it's
just off
hard
and he
and
goes
it's
and
like
smokes a joint right there.
and it's super like emotional the way it hits, and that shit made me want to cry. Freaking the second time I watched it, dude. I've become a very more emotional person as I'm getting into like my later 20s, and I appreciate it. But I don't know if it's because that's just what you do when you get older, or the shrooms that I have consumed in my life. Like it's one or the other.
No, yeah,
Like-
dude, there are the music makes a lot of the
moments
scenes emotional. Yeah,
they
like
elevate
that
it,
do
dude.
elevate that
I
that
love-
emotional like aspect of it. Yeah,
I love giving over to that like wave of like when something epic is happening on screen and they have like exactly the right song for it. Like it just
Yeah.
happens in certain times in movies and it just makes you want to cry. And it's
Yeah.
just like I love that shit, bro.
Oh, dude,
That's
yeah.
I live for those moments in
like
any
Royal
movie.
Royal Tenenbaums hits it on the point too with the soundtrack too. Like every scene is just like elevated by.
I think a lot of his movies are Trying to roll a joint and
No, yeah,
do the podcast.
definitely. The music does make a lot of his films.
And I like that it's Bowie based, and like it's a lot of like original composition too, and not just like instrumental composition, but like drum programming as well. Because like you can hear it in some of like the scenes, you know, where they have like their, you know, their like secret agent fucking group
dude.
when they're going and
Whenever
trying to
they go
break the
underwater, it's great. Or they do those missions.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Dude, yeah, they're so good. It's like so simple. It's fucking awesome.
Hey, we need to fucking cut that and loop that, and that'll be our fucking intro song.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, that was fucking great,
damn
dude.
it. Oh, son of a bitch. But yeah, dude, it was the music. Yeah.
That when music like that came on, it reminded me of a fucking video game, dude. It felt like I was watching watching a video game at that
like the
point.
underwater scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Felt like I was like, I felt like, you know, the fucking Super Mario levels. If you're playing fucking Super Mario Brothers and you get into the fucking, you know, you gotta go fucking underwater. You know, you catch a green fucking little tunnel.
Turtle? Oh yeah, the pipes, yeah.
You catch a green pipe, you know.
Yeah, the fucking
Always gotta have green in
worst
your pipes.
levels in any video game. I hate underwater levels.
I don't know, dude.
You like underwater levels?
Is there like I don't hate them.
I feel like in lots of games from like the older days, it was difficult to like
Navigate.
make controls easy to do for underwater shit, and so it was just like annoying to do. Maybe not like really bad.
Because it just like they just like shoot up the sensitivity basically. When you go,
so like
so
you
on the
turn and you
joystick,
guys
so you're
like
just like
360. Yeah.
So when you go underwater, it's just like, oh, okay, now I got to be like all sensitive and
yeah, it's different.
especially like on a Mario or something. Yeah.
Or like in the old days, it was literally just like you would still jump underwater, but you had to like time your jumps.
Yeah.
That I kind of like. That's fun.
Oh, like it's slower.
Yeah, well, because like when you're
it makes,
underwater,
like,
he'll like swim and shit. Like
Yeah.
he'll, like
Well,
do a
in-
little flap or whatever.
In Super Mario Bros., if I remember correctly, wasn't it just like he would kind of like float and you'd have to press like the jump button and it would kind of like you'd kind of go up like up
yeah,
or
it was
down?
like his.
I
like,
liked that,
his
dude.
little- yeah,
I
that's
liked
good.
that.
'Cause
That
that's
took
like
some
old
fucking.
school.
That took some thumb skill.
Yeah, you had to time it right. You know what it is, bro? That's what's crazy is it's like that's what you remember Flappy Bird?
Yep,
That's Flappy Bird.
I loved
You
that
remember
shit,
that game?
dude.
I remember that game.
Yeah, I did too. It was pretty addictive, honestly.
Remember, people were so pissed at it that the dude that made it fucking took it off the app store.
Yeah, because it was causing so much rage. Like
I heard
'cause
that
was a
if you
very
had it
difficult
downloaded
game.
on your phone, you still had it. Like
Yeah, but you had to save it like a relic. Like
Yeah.
if you ever deleted it,
I had it for a
switched,
while.
yeah, it would
I heard
be
that you
gone.
could sell your phone like with Flappy Bird on it for like
Yeah,
more,
dude.
hella money.
Probably.
Yeah.
That's
Probably.
crazy. That's crazy.
Probably, dude. Hey, if
That's
someone
fucking-
fucking,
So
if
if you
someone
had,
did that
your
shit,
phone is worth value if
if
you got
someone
Flappy
did
Bird
that
on
shit,
it.
bro, someone probably came up. The Life Aquatic.
Yeah, was that our Life Aquatic there?
Pretty much.
Anything?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else to say about the Life Aquatic?
Closing thoughts.
Oh, fucking Matthew Gray. Freaking what is it? Gluber? The guy from freaking Criminal Minds, curly hair.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how to say his freaking name.
He's one of the interns.
Yeah,
He's the guy who gets stabbed. In the
Oh
Hmm.
yeah.
neck. Yeah.
curly hair.
Yeah.
When
You
he's
may
the
be
guy
on
when
the B team, but you're the B team leader.
Yeah.
he's the
that's
guy.
good.
He's the guy freaking when Steve and Ned are having the argument and they're kind of walking throughout the ship. And he's like, "Intern, what are you still doing here?" He's like, "Well, I wanted to help you find the jaguar shark, sir."
Yeah, he's just a good guy.
Yeah, he's just there, and I was like,
His like arms in a sling or something
Mhm.
like that. Yeah.
and I was like, "Oh my god, that's it!" Because I fucking love Criminal Minds, and two, freaking that fool is just popular on Twitter now just because he's a beautiful human.
He's a what do you mean? Why is he popular on? What is he just a good guy or
He's just a
like,
good-looking person. He's just a
that's what it
good-looking
is.
dude.
Okay,
you know?
beautiful in that sense.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude. And I assume he's
gorgeous.
probably just a nice person also too.
Yeah, you gotta put the image up that you are at least when you're a big star like that.
Do we mention Jeff Goldblum's in this movie?
Oh yeah,
too?
Jeff Goldblum. Holy shit, we totally did
The
it.
fucking goat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's
By the way,
what's his name in this?
Captain Hennessy.
Captain Hennessy.
The Hennessy.
In his boat, Operation Hennessy.
Yeah.
Fucking Steve fucking rips him off, fucking jacks all his shit.
Yeah.
Then they rescue him. He's like, "Is that my espresso machine?"
We fucking stole it, man.
Hey, I love when they pull up after the fight and shit, and they're about to like throw the pirate over the boat, and he's like, "Oh, hide that." And he goes, "Just throw him over the other side."
What about him? Just throw him over the other
Throw him
side.
the other side.
They're having like a nice like sailor like funeral for him, and just like,
for him,
oh,
like,
just throw him over the
No,
other side.
we'll bury him at sea.
Yeah.
I
Go
like.
down below and cover anything with a blanket that says Operation Hennessy.
Yeah, I like to like after a while they are going after the bond salesman again, and they're like on the island, and fucking. They get there and they've basically decided there's nobody there, and then he walks into the room and he sees like Jeff Goldblum like playing cards with all the fucking pirates and shit, and they just kind of all look at each other for a second. And
And
he's
Jeff
all,
Goldblum goes,
what did he say? He's
he
like,
goes, "Fold."
yeah, he's like, I fold. Yeah,
Are you here to save me?
yeah. He's like, gentlemen, I fold. And then he's like,
They just fucking shoot him.
yeah, and it's great too because he's standing in the doorway with like 10 dudes firing at him, and he's like.
Like cheesy, and
struggling
then he
to
just
get his
runs
gun.
through the door.
Yeah.
It's like with all these guys
It's
shooting him.
fucking great,
It's just
dude.
like the cheesiest action scene ever, dude.
But it's also funny because Jeff, like Captain Hennessy, gets shot like pretty much like super close to the heart.
yeah,
and then,
he's
like,
just
you
holding
cut-
it, and he's like
just-
running all
He's
chill.
just
Yeah.
fine. Yeah, he's bleeding all crazy. Yeah, I know. That shit was ridiculous.
and then they just patch him up. You know, just like
So I'm in shirt. I'll probably
They-
come out on top after
they
this.
fucking patch him up like fucking Goku in Dragon Ball Z after he just got his ass beat. You
They
know?
do, yeah.
Like
for
straight
sure.
up just
just put a bandage
yeah.
on his chest and it's fine.
exactly. You're good. They gave him a fucking sensu bean.
God damn it, yeah.
I like in the beginning when we first see Captain Hennessy. What does he say to him? He's like, "So is your fucking what does he call it? Your fucking tiger fish? What does he call it?"
Oh, damn it. Yeah,
Oh.
he says something funny. I don't know. I don't remember
I
what he
forget.
says.
I remember.
Yeah, but that is
I should have written it
yeah.
down because I was like watching. I was like, "Damn,
That
that's
is a good
just hella
line.
funny." But he's like, "What? So what? What is it like? Your tiger fish?" He's like, "It's a jaguar shark."
Yeah. God damn it.
And I just love all like the animals, the animation in it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
There's, like, a bit
love
of
that shit. That's a great
Animation, yeah.
great little quirk because it's pretty subtle.
What is it like the crayon
Yeah.
the crayon colored like seahorse that
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
that
The
Venna
kid gives to
that
Every
him.
time
Venna
they're
gives to him?
underwater, they're like those like vibrant parts, you know, where it's like they're really underwater, but it's like fake kind of thing. Yeah,
Definitely.
how it's filmed, it's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Great movie.
Yeah,
You know,
great movie.
When I first watched it, I would say that I probably had like an 8, maybe 7.5 rating for it. But upon reviewing and talking about it, I really want to go watch it again because I feel like I'll enjoy it like way more.
You will.
Yeah.
Yeah,
100% you
yeah,
will.
yeah,
Because
for
when I was
sure.
sitting there watching it today, I was like, damn, this is fucking amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's one of those movies you got to give a chance. Like, you're not gonna,
It's not gonna.
You have to watch
you
it
might
a few
not fall in love
times.
with it in the first
Yeah.
10 minutes.
It's not like
yeah. It
Yeah.
takes a minute.
I would say like crafted right. It's not like crafted as I don't know. I don't want to say that, but like if you're comparing it to like a Royal Tenenbaums or something like that, like Royal Tenenbaums is a better like overall just like movie, just because I think
I
it's
would say
tighter.
so.
There's not a bunch of pacing issues like there is in
Yeah.
The Life Aquatic, but I
There's
just
definitely
think
sometimes
just
where it
because
slows down.
Yeah.
But I think just because The Life Aquatic is just because it is just like a movie that's supposed to be like rocky. I think, you know, just like waves are out in the ocean, right? There's supposed to be these high moments and there's these low moments, and I think
You're right.
that's probably what's supposed to be going on. But like, obviously, if we're sitting down watching a movie, it's not the best thing to be like, oh my god, super action, and then like kind of slow, right? But I think that's just like what it is. Like his life is pretty rocky, especially at this moment, because he's, I don't want to say been like living a lie, but just like not living necessarily true to himself, because he's been doing a lot of this shit just to like, you know, because he's got like really famous off of it and stuff like that. And that's, you know, he's doing it for acceptance and doing it because he, you know, wants people to think all this shit's like really good and stuff like that. You know, like how he gets pissed at that fucking fan who's like, in the beginning when he's like, hey Steve, he's like, so he gonna kill off in the next part, you know? Like,
Yeah, that was fucked. He like attacks him. That was pretty hardcore, dude. Because I mean, yeah, like again, that kind of goes back to the thing of like some people I think are treating this last one as like very staged, you know? Like nobody really believes the shark is real. Like a lot of they're like, well, some of the action sequences seemed a little bit cheesy. Do you have any comment on that or whatever? They're like, yeah, and he's like it's like, yeah, you'd fucking rage like because your fucking friend died, you know? Like, god dang it, yeah.
I like that one old dude that freaking has him signing all his like
He goes,
posters.
and this,
And this.
and this. He goes,
How
oh my
many
god,
of
how
these
many of these do you have? He goes, just forge the rest. And he's like, I could have stayed home and done that.
That's funny, dude. Yeah, Life Aquatic, definitely go watch it. Then you gotta go watch it a couple more times.
Yeah, give it a chance.
Go watch it and then go watch it again.
I was telling Daniel, like, I watched this kind of like review video on it, and this dude was saying how like he's watched it like a lot of the time, a lot like over his lifetime, and how like each time it just feels like such a fresh movie, and it also fits just like if you're going through shit in life. I feel like this movie is like perfect to where like there's so many different things you can attach onto or like kind of like relate to. You know, because I think at least for me, right, as much as movies are like escapism and just like a form of escapism where it's just like, all right, fuck, I'm done with like work or anything else like that. I just kind of want to turn on a movie and just kind of like check out. Oh shit!
Woohoo!
But for a certain point, movies are freaking like I feel like they teach you about something about yourself like in life sometimes where
Way
I
to
think,
reflect.
they make you like reflect and shit like that. And I think this is a good movie for that too, because it is a lot of like, you know, finding, it is like this, a lot of themes in this movie is just like finding yourself or like fitting in or just like, you know, feeling like you've been doing something and just, you know, hitting like a rock bottom and kind of having to just like rethink stuff. And I think a lot of people have probably gone through that over the last, at least like me, like I have, like for sure, like thinking I was going to play baseball for a long time, and then like going to college and think I was going to do this and think I was going to do that, and then think I was going to do music production, and now like sitting here and like I'm growing and like doing a podcast and doing all this shit. Like it's definitely a movie that like hit for me, and I think that's why I liked it a lot. Like the second time is just because there's so many themes that you can relate to and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
This is easily jumped up to one of my fucking favorite movies of all time, 100%.
A lot of these movies in general, I think, I like upon rewatching these last two, I like have remembered some of the other ones, and it's like, yeah, this guy is motherfucking consistent, bro. Like across all of them, like in terms of just his style and just the quality too. Like I don't think there's really a bad Wes Anderson movie.
No.
I haven't seen them all, obviously, so I don't know. But I don't know. You've seen more than I have. Is there any that you don't like?
Trying to think. No, they all kind of have their
own special thing,
their own
right?
special
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
I think he just has that sort of solidified style where it's like, it's something that you don't get tired of, because you know in each story it's going to be different and it's going to be really fucking good. Like, you know, like,
Yeah.
and like
I haven't seen his most recent.
the French Dispatch
No,
one.
I haven't checked that one out.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure how I feel about that one yet. But
Before that one was Budapest, right?
Budapest was before that. That one was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did Sing as well, apparently, the animated one.
Oh yeah, I can't believe it. Sing's awesome. I love that movie.
Oh yeah,
Sing's the one with all that.
I saw that was on there.
I
was
had
like,
no
he did
fucking
Sing?
idea. I was like, yo, no wonder that movie's so goddamn
It
good.
is a solid movie.
It is a really good movie.
Hell yeah.
But yeah,
So that was the Life Aquatic. Now let's get
Yeah.
into the Royal
Royal
Tenenbaums,
Tenenbaums.
where
This is
something
a
like
good one.
this
I
one.
watched this one
the
today.
Tenenbaums.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Royal Tenenbaums. This is It's definitely an easier one to get into than
Than Aquatic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically what we got going on, so the Royal Tenenbaum is basically the name of a rich father who's got these kids,
genius kids.
Just talented
Genius.
ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
these genius. So he has two biological kids. He's got Richie and he's got fucking Cross?
No.
Fucking
Chaz.
Chaz
Chaz Tenenbaum.
And then they have an adopted daughter,
Margot.
Margot.
Basically at the beginning of the movie, the parents are getting divorced and the dad's kind of going away, and it's funny because like a lot of like themes in Wes Anderson movies are just like people being just like walking contradictions.
Yeah.
And like you have like, at least like in this movie, immediately what I saw was like, you have adults who are acting like kids and you got kids who are acting like adults. Like it's fucking hilarious, dude. Like you have fucking Chaz, who's this just like super smart, just like business kid, like right off the bat, like fucking makes hella cash. Freaking
started investing in stocks at 16.
Freaking puts money in like a safety deposit box and like shit like that. Pretty nuts. You got Richie, who's just like this freaking
all-star tennis player.
just like this tennis prodigy. And then you have Margot, who's not necessarily like talented like them in any way, but she's just an adult where she's just like, She just grew up like super fast.
No,
like,
well, she wrote a play.
oh
Yeah,
yeah, she wrote a play.
like,
Yeah,
she wrote a-
yeah, she wrote a play.
She
wrote a play that won a Pulitzer Prize,
Yeah,
And
bro.
she was like
play.
incredibly,
Yeah.
and like extremely independent. Too,
Yes,
like,
yeah.
at a very early
Yeah,
age,
wrote a
dude.
She
play,
like
like,
leaves
extremely independent,
at
yes.
like an early age or whatever.
Started
It's gone, bro.
smoking cigarettes at 12.
Like,
fucking
yeah.
ran away
What
from
are they-
home at like
yeah.
14.
Yeah, they're like
Or
her
like
and her.
ran away from school at 12 or something like
yeah.
that. She's like freaking jumping out a window or some shit like
yeah,
that.
it's her and her brother, right? Who is it? Fuck, Chaz.
her and Richie.
Richie, yeah. He's like, her and her brother Richie ran away to school for 4 weeks or something like that. And
Yeah.
not long after, she disappeared for 4 years. Like, yeah. It's fucking Alec Baldwin, who's the narrator. He's got a smooth ass voice in this one, dude.
Mhm.
It's good.
But yeah, this immediately jumped up, like immediately upon watching it, jumped up to like one of my favorite movies. Because I mean, I think the theme's simple, right? It's just a dysfunctional family who's been apart for super long, and like they're just coming back together. Obviously, the dad's super fucked up, and
Yeah, 'cause
like,
Royal's a piece of shit,
Yeah.
basically. He's like a pretty shitty
Yeah.
dad.
He's a
Yeah,
he's a
and
piece
so
of
like his so he has a ex-wife. That's how the movie opens, right? Or a separated wife, because they're not officially
Yeah.
divorced.
Yeah.
Is
She's
it's
the mother
Ethylene,
of
right?
the children.
Ethylene Tenenbaums?
Ethylene, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
same lady who plays Elidor.
Yes, yeah, it's her again.
And they basically have a fourth.
Oh, yeah, the
son
kid who lives
too,
across the
who lives
street.
across the
It's
street,
Owen Wilson.
who's played by
Again.
Owen Wilson.
Fuck, I can't remember his name.
Eli?
Eli Cash.
Yep.
Who ends up being another type of prodigy, like a
He's like he writes novels too.
novels. Or something,
Yeah, I think
writer?
he's like he's
actor
like an
type.
assistant professor or some shit like that, but he writes like novels about like old timey war shit. He's
Yeah.
like, everybody knows Custer died at the Battle of so and so, but what I propose is, what if he didn't? It's fucking ridiculous, bro. Yeah, it's hilarious.
Yeah. So there's basically four children in that house.
Yeah, he's their neighbor.
Yeah.
He lives across the street.
Mm-hmm.
And what's the mother's name?
I think it's Ethylene.
Ethylene.
Yeah.
Yeah, she basically takes them over. Yeah. And
Yeah,
helps
so-
raise them, and then the fucking Royal lives in some hotel.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's where he starts the movie. Or like
Yeah.
after they introduce the whole story, that's where the
Yeah,
movie takes
when they all
him.
grow up, you have Eli you have Owen Wilson who plays Eli. You have Luke Wilson who plays Richie.
Yep.
You have Ben Stiller who plays fucking Chaz, and I love fucking
He's
Ben
fucking
Stiller.
funny in this,
Yeah.
bro. Yeah.
And then you have Gwyneth Paltrow who plays Margot, which
Yeah.
okay, so
She
that
plays-
cast
that's
right
a
there is
good-
perfect, dude. Like
It's
perfect.
Perfect.
Like I think they just all play well off each other, and I think their styles of humor are so similar where they
Yeah.
just all work together. They can all have that like just super just like dry humor. Like obviously like Luke Wilson and Owen Wilson, like
Brothers.
they're brothers. They're pretty like
Ben Stiller and Owen
Yeah.
Wilson is a great comedy duo.
Yeah.
You've seen them
Exactly.
and tons of other stuff together.
Fucking Night at the Museum
Actually,
and shit
you know,
like
I
that.
think on the ending credits it said written by Anderson and Owen Wilson.
Oh, no
so
way.
I think Owen Wilson had
Was in on
some
that one,
writing
huh?
to do
Dang.
with this
Oh, wow.
movie. Yeah.
he's in a lot of Wes
pretty
Anderson
sure.
stuff.
He
Yeah.
is, yeah, most definitely. Mm-hmm. Yeah, fucking. So yeah, basically, what happens right is like, because Danny Glover's in the movie too, and I can't remember. I think it's like Henry or something like that. It's like the accountant dude who like wants to marry Ethylene.
Yeah, it's her assistant or
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah.
Or, yeah.
And so
They do
like,
accounting or something like that. That's how they have their money or
yeah,
something like that. Yeah.
and so he like fucking basically confesses her love for her real quick, like right in the beginning of the movie.
So you should get a divorce.
Yeah, and then like fucking Ethylene.
It'll be good for tax purposes.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, and then it's like,
By the way, I want to marry you.
this wasn't really about taxes, was it? He's all, I don't know why I brought it up like that. Yeah. But
now
it's
she's
great
like-
too, because he's like, yeah, the narrator really quick is like, all fucking Ethylene had many suitors up to that point. And they show all these crazy motherfuckers because she's like an archaeologist. So it's like all these people from all over the world who have been like in love with her. And she's like, but had never truly considered one until this moment.
What did she say? She's basically just like, I'll think about it.
Yeah, she does. Yeah.
And then you see like in the background, like there's like a dude that has headphones on. And when she says like,
oh fuck, what's his name? Yeah, he was like the assistant in the house, right?
yeah, the assistant in the house, the dude that works for freaking the dude that works for Royal Tenenbaums.
Yeah.
As soon as he says that, as soon as she says like, I'll think about it, you see him like in the background. Like it isn't like, this is what I love about Wes Anderson is all his shots are symmetrical. Everything's
yeah,
symmetrical.
it's
So it's not
beautiful.
like there's anything like really like complicated itself like in the shot going on.
no.
I want to say just because I mean you have to get everything lined up
Oh,
symmetrically.
Pagoda. His name's Pagoda.
So I don't want to say
I was
like
trying to look
that's
him up, too.
yeah. I don't want to say that's
Pagoda.
not hard because obviously I don't have experience like
It's difficult.
setting up like a set to be like super
Yeah.
symmetrical.
Yeah.
But it's like you don't have a camera after you set it up. You're not having a camera pointed at like a specific angle. Like you're not trying to catch these crazy angles. It's like all right, everything's symmetrical. Now you're just lining it up straight and then you're shooting it right. Again, if you're a fucking filmmaker stuff out there and you're sitting there like it's so much harder again.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm just this is just me coming across just like I'm watching it. I'm like me watching it, it's not hard for me to like watch this and pick up what's going on. But in that moment, like if you're because it's easy to just pay attention to like Ethylene and her like expression and see like what she's thinking.
Yep.
And because also the character in the background's kind of blurred out.
Yeah.
But if you're paying attention, you see when she's like, oh, I'll think about it. He like takes the headphones off and he's like, oh, what? And like, he's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
So I love that shit.
Yeah.
Because also in freaking what I forgot to bring up in freaking
Life
The Life
Aquatic.
Aquatic.
I was thinking the same shit.
When freaking before they go out on the helicopter for the second time and they're doing like they put their hands into freaking like right like if you notice like so Owen Wilson puts his hand in and then freaking Bill Murray puts his hand in and then freaking Willem Dafoe Klaus is in the background like watching them and then like he puts his hand in and then when they like lift their hands up and they break like he's in the background like
doing it too.
does it like himself.
It's hella funny, dude.
Super funny. And that's what I love because like you're just like it's something super small like we were talking about like to take it back to the episode right when he's talking about the tertiary details, the details that are really small,
bro.
the details that are really small that
The
like tie it together
stories.
like you don't necessarily need that in there but the fact that it's in there and that it works like it just elevates that to like the next level because it's attention to the shot and like it's just like a little detail that's like it elevates it right like
what's amazing is like you see it across both movies is it's like all of those background characters are so simple in their like objective in terms of like what they do in the film, right? And then not only that but like the whole world that he builds, whether it be like the house or the ship, like because he lays it out for you so early on, anytime they go into any room you know exactly where they are. So it's like everything's so simple like in that sense that like it's so easily identifiable. It's like so hard not to just fucking watch, bro. It's crazy. It's just beautiful. I saw this video earlier that said he was like, I dare you, if you watch this movie without sound you'll still understand exactly what's going on the whole way through. That like it's that good, like the intent and everything that happens, the way that the actors perform, just again the way that all the color and like negative space and symmetry that they do and everything is employed, that like you can watch the whole movie without sound and be perfectly fine.
Dude, Royal Tenenbaums?
And I think you could. Actually, you could. I was like, damn,
you
bro.
You actually could because in the beginning, how they describe the children and what they do, you're like, oh, these kids are smart kids.
Yep.
Like you pick that up, and then when they're older, you're like, because their styles match up with what they were when they were younger. You're like, oh, that's Richie. That's
they do a great job too, because it's like everybody looks exactly the same, like to a hilarious extent. Because like Richie had his like long hair with the headband when he was a kid, but then he's grown up Luke Wilson with the beard and he still has it no matter what. Yeah, it's hilarious.
Yeah, you totally could.
Yeah, but
I thought this one was definitely easier to like it catches your attention a lot easier because I think it breaks down the problem of what's going on. Obviously you have the beginning where you see the dad's a piece of shit, you see where the kids are going, you're like, all right, cool, we're gonna have a dysfunctional family fucking film. And that's basically what it is. You see the kids grow up, you see freaking you see freaking Chaz, which is Ben Stiller's character, and his kids all dressed up in the same thing, the freaking red Adidas tracksuits, and you see them practicing basically like a fire drill at their house, and you come to find out that like the year before Chaz's wife had died. So you immediately get like you feel for him because you're like, oh damn, single dad, he's got 2 kids. His kids are fucking hilarious too, by the way.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
It's fucking Ari and Uzi, bro. That's such a good name.
Uzi.
Yeah, it's such a good name.
They all wear matching tracksuits.
Yeah.
They're fucking hard. And they're like
they're like punching numbers for him. And
yeah,
shit.
they're badass little kids, dude. Yeah, hell yeah.
And shit.
How many times did dad got you working out? We worked out 16 times already this week.
He's working 16 times.
Yeah, but it's like funny because you see them like practicing the fire drill and they get out, right? And he's like, what is he like? 4 minutes 43 seconds. And he's like, we're burnt to a crisp.
Yeah,
already.
we're dead.
We're dead.
Yeah. He's like, we forgot Buckley. He's all, Doesn't matter. Yeah, I like Chaz's character a lot. He was funny because like that was a pretty heavy like background to pull a lot of comedy from. You know, like his wife, and the thing that they say too is like it's his wife and the kids. They were in the crash, and so was Buckley. Like that's one of the moments where like it's kind of like a do you laugh or do you not? Because like Alec Baldwin's narrating, and he's like, "Oh
yeah,
the mother previously died in a plane crash. The kids were there too, but survived. And hundreds of yards away, they found Buckley in the cage.
The cage still alive. He's like, yeah, Chaz and the kids were in the crash too.
Yeah.
They survived.
Yeah,
and Buckley, their dog, as well.
Yeah, yeah, it's fucking hilarious, dude.
300 yards from the crash.
But it's crazy, like the amount of like the verge. He's like on the verge of a mental breakdown, like pretty much the entire movie. Like he's like not dealing with this shit well, obviously. Yeah,
Sure not.
He's having trouble dealing with being a widower.
Mm-hmm.
A widower.
Yeah. I think that's what it is, right?
Yeah. No.
Yeah, because
Widower.
at the end, fucking.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's like.
You know, I'm a widower too.
I'm a widower. He goes, I know that, Chaz. He's all putting his thing. Goes, I know that, Chaz. And Chaz just all like has like this heartfelt moment with him, like real quick.
But yeah, so after that, you see that it cuts to Ethylene, and they're at her house, and Chaz comes over. Basically, it's hella funny because he has all the bags, right?
Yeah.
And she's like, Chaz, dear, like, what are you doing here? He's like, we got locked out of the house. Like, we got locked out of the house. And
I don't understand. Did you pack your bags before you got locked out of the house? He's like, it's not safe at the house, Mom. They come through. I love that shit too, because right after they're like standing there, she's all, there weren't enough sprinklers in the house. I need to get a backup security system. She's like, well, there aren't any sprinklers here either. And he's like, we're gonna have to do something about that too. God damn it, bro! It's so funny,
shit, dude.
I love it.
Yeah. And fucking, I love. I think about what I love about this movie. Obviously, all the characters. I think my favorite. It's so tough because they're all really good. But if I'm gonna rank them, I'm gonna say I love Margot, and then I love Chaz, and then I love Richie.
Like for the kids,
yeah,
or
just like just all of them, just like
characters in general.
Yeah, just characters in general. Just because I love just how like little Margot talks and how just serious she is, and how just how much, and how you can tell like how much she's kind of just like going through.
Yeah,
and
Gwyneth Paltrow's awesome in this movie.
Yeah, and it's funny how she just uses her fucking feet a lot.
I know,
to turn off the fucking TV, to open the fucking to unlock the door and shit like that. Like that shit's fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
and yeah, I mean, it is kind of weird, like the arc of her and Richie like loving each other, and the fact that they're like adopted like brother and sister.
Yeah. Richie's been in love with her the whole time.
Yeah.
That's like early on in the movie, right? Where like he's like,
well, they established that because they like ran away into a freaking
they camped out
in the library and lived off of what, like fucking,
it was like crackers and
root beers and shit like that.
God damn it.
Yeah, that shit's funny.
And then she left, and she had like a secretive life.
Yeah, she had a secret first marriage to like a Jamaican music artist.
Yeah. And a bunch of other like suitors throughout the years and stuff.
Yeah, I got married for the first time at what, 19?
Yeah,
I think
she's like on the cover in the background.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a
it's
heavy
a wild
movie.
one.
It deals with like a lot, obviously, with like family issues.
Yeah.
Obviously it deals with suicide and stuff like towards the end.
Yeah, with Richie. Yeah, that part's deep.
That part's heavy.
And again with the soundtrack, like that song, you're like, wow, I would kill myself to this fucking song.
Yeah, that song, and then just like the shots of that as well, like like the little cuts of him just like shaving everything off, and kind of like the symbolism of him just like fucking getting
cutting
rid of
his hair and everything. So
He's
that
like,
shit was nuts.
I'm gonna kill myself tomorrow, and then he just does it right there.
Yeah, dude, it's wild.
It was heavy, and then you
kind of
it's crazy because it's heavy, and then it cuts to like pretty lighthearted after that.
A little bit,
yeah,
because like she's running up to the door. Like this is where he breaks it, because she's running up to the door, and that like Dudley guy comes out.
Oh yeah,
all covered in blood. She goes, "Where is he?" And he goes, "Who?" It's like, no fucking shit.
Yeah, it's
the guy who fucking cut his wrist.
Yeah, goddamn
it's freaking it's pretty fucking nuts. And there's a weird there's like a crazy like love triangle, or like love, not even like triangle, like
it's a lot.
like, because you have
'Cause Bill
Margot,
Murray.
who's married to Bill Murray.
Yeah.
Bill Murray's character.
Yep.
But then she's also in love with Richie, and
Yeah.
Richie's in love with her. But then you have Eli, who's
Yep.
in love with Margot, but then
Yeah.
Margot, who's not in love with Eli. So it's
Yep.
kind of and then Eli and Richie are best friends.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is fucking.
So it's like a
some
love
crazy
triangle
shit.
right there.
It's
yeah.
hardcore, dude.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's pretty intense.
Yeah, and I like how fucking in the beginning you have Richie, who's basically so it's this like running story, and I like how they did this of how it's kind of a mystery at the beginning, right? He's like this prodigy tennis player,
Mm-hmm.
but then like in his last match he kind of threw it, and everyone's like, why did you
Yeah.
do that? And you don't figure out why until like towards the very end, and you understand that it's because freaking that was the day after Margot married what's Bill Murray's character's name, dude?
It's like Dr.
Doctor something. He's like a
Yeah.
neurologist.
Oh,
writer.
Raleigh St. Clair. Dr. Raleigh, I guess.
And
Sounds about right.
yeah, so then I like how they do that, because obviously there's the whole story of everything that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually Richie and Margot become like the focal point, because I think that's like the biggest climax of
Yeah.
Richie attempting to
Mhm.
heal
Yeah.
himself and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
The whole family comes like back
Mhm.
together for
Yeah.
that moment.
and because before that they had come together because Royal says that he's dying. He says that
he
he
says
has
he's got cancer.
Yeah,
he says he
yeah.
has stomach cancer
lying,
and shit
yeah.
like that. So everyone comes back and lives at the house for that reason, so they can
Yeah.
all like be together. And then he's basically, he says he's trying to get ethylene back, but it's just because he's run out of money.
Yeah.
And he's just trying to fucking
And then, but he
piggyback off
also
of
is
that.
because he finds out that
She's wanting to maybe marry.
she's wanting to maybe marry
What's his name? Henry.
Henry.
Yeah.
So then he's just wanting to like break that up.
Yep.
At the same time, he's like, well, maybe I could have just broke that up. He's like, and I ran out of money, and I love you, type of thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's some fucked up shit.
Yeah, and so, but then once they realize that he doesn't have fucking stomach cancer, because Henry basically catches him.
Catches
Yeah.
him, calls him out.
Yeah,
See,
and
it's
hella-
like-
Because
it's
his
hella
fucking
fun-
wife died of fucking
Yeah.
stomach cancer.
Yeah.
and it's
He's
hella
like, you
funny
don't
when he
eat
just like
cheeseburgers 3 days
Yeah.
a day.
when he like walks into the fucking bathroom, he's like, ah shit, and he like just like walks into the bathroom and then walks out and just like has all his stuff packed
ready.
and
Yeah.
shit like that. And I was
Like,
just
well,
like,
they
fuck.
found me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And fuck, where was I going with that shit? God damn it, I'm high.
Yeah, me too.
Um,
We've achieved the goal. Too high for TV.
this is when you know we've reached the name of our fucking podcast, when we've earned the name of our podcast.
Mhm.
Hey, did you catch the part where fucking Pagoda, he's like introducing him to somebody, and he's like, who's this? He's like, I met him in so and so. He had he's a hitman. He had a fucking hit out for me. Like he stabbed me. He's like, he stabbed me in the stomach, and then
damn.
he carried me to the hospital, and that's how we met. Like type
That's
of shit.
awesome.
Like his partner.
Yeah.
Did you catch that part?
That's hella funny.
Because I was like, because you're wondering the whole time. You're like, who is this Pagoda guy that fucking?
Yeah,
follows
he's
him around?
awesome. Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I was in so and so.
He had a hit out
And he
of
carried
him.
me to the hospital. He's like, no, he was the assassin. He stabbed me.
Yeah, I like when
That's
all that
awesome.
shit like happens and it like breaks down and they're like, walking out of the house, and he basically fucking Royal basically is trying to like make it out so they feel like sorry for him or something like that, and he's like, and that dude fucking punched him. He's like, "What is your fault?" That shit was hella funny, dude. I love. This immediately turned into one of my favorite movies, just because it's the way everything comes together after everyone comes together for Richie and stuff like that, and then you see how Richie and Margot come together, which is again kind of awkward, because
Yeah.
they're adopted.
We grew up
And
together. as a brother and
Chaz
sister.
had this like hatred for his dad a little bit because
yeah.
because like all Royal cared about was fucking Richie.
Yeah,
pretty
he would
much.
always take Richie out.
He'd always
not
take
the other
Richie's
two
side.
kids. Yeah.
And then
It's
fucking-
fucked up too because
and then like in the end,
And then didn't Royal take money from him too?
Oh, yeah, he is. He's
took
stealing
tons
money.
of money from him.
Yeah.
Richie Chaz had to sue him or some shit
Yeah.
like that. All this
Yeah.
shit.
And then what's fucked too is like once they all move into the house, it's like they're pretty funny scenes, but it's like when Because Royal takes his kids out. He takes like Ari and Uzi out on like crazy ass
dude, that
fucking
part's
adventures.
good.
Yeah, that shit's funny.
With that song too.
Yeah, me and Julio down by the schoolyard. Do, 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 do.
On the fucking trash can, they're fucking. Do they jack chocolate milk?
Yeah.
And then Royal comes out and he goes. And he's got like some fucking pastry or like or something.
Doesn't he take him to like watch some dog fighting or something too? Like all crazy. Yeah.
He goes, what is that? And he goes, oh no, that's dog's blood.
Again, another moment where like adults are acting like kids and kids are acting like adults.
Yeah.
That's definitely.
The kids are like super into just like, working out, and like you see them, they're at the park, they're like working out with freaking Buckley and shit like that. And then the grandpa's just like, what the fuck? Like, let's just go have fun. Like, that's a kid ass thing to, to do. You know, the kids are kind of taking responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
And again,
yeah,
great job by Wes Anderson.
fucking A, bro.
This fucking guy.
He's really good, dude. At any point, anything is either like you were saying earlier, like perfectly spaced out, or like just really good color. Maybe like there's always a lot of good color in all the movies. Like
All his colors, he has a simple color palette for each movie.
Yeah,
But it's that he uses them in such different ways that it feels fresh.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like in this one, there's a lot of like blues and like greens and shit like that, and like reds. And then you see that when like Richie is like at the like the bus station, right? And he's waiting for Margot, and you see like the station that he's at, like the title of it is all like in blue. Like everything else is kind of like these blander like colors, but then the color that stands out is the blue, and that's like the title, like the name of like the station. And then you have the buses and the cars that drive by, who again are like blander colors, and the bus is all white, but then the name of the bus, like the company of the bus, is all in like green, like super like prompt. And again, like in The Life Aquatic, like a bunch of like,
that's a great scene right there too with the bus when she comes out of the bus.
Yeah, and it's all slow motion.
Yeah,
that, like,
he kills that scene right there.
That shit is good.
Super good. Super good.
I was getting goosebumps on that.
You get like a good sense. I think that's probably what the guy was talking about, like of watching it without even sound or anything. Is it's like they film it so good too, of like when they're coming to each other, like it almost looks like they're about to kiss, and then they kind of like turn to the side to hug really quick and everything. Like you get a sense of it right away. Like he's just so good at just like visually.
And also when you can see through his glasses, like what's his name, Luke, he does a good job of just like expressing that little like like sigh of relief a little bit. Like you can't really see, but he's just like that little like
a lot of intent that goes into all these scenes, and you can see that they're all filmed with intent, and everything is like comes out really good.
Yeah, clean movies, dude. Like very well, and it's like well executed.
Hell yeah. And I love the end of this, like at like the wedding and shit like that, like everything like that like fucking goes down when fucking Eli fucking crashes a car into freaking almost kills the freaking kids, but ends up killing
Buckley.
Yeah,
poor Buckley. Rest in peace, Buckley.
Yeah, R.I.P. Freaking and then freaking when Eli's just like, after he crashes in, he's like in the house and he's like, why is my shoe off? Like, like just completely oblivious.
Dudley comes and brings it to him, just all fucking awkwardly.
Because he's all sad because of like, obviously he's in love with freaking Margot, but he has that scene where he's like, talking to Margot on the bridge, and she's basically just like, yeah, I don't love you. Like, what the hell? And so he's like freaking hella sad. And
she breaks a lot of hearts in this movie.
Exactly. She is a fucking heartbreaker.
Yeah, she breaks like everybody's heart.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's also just because she's
literally.
Just like
Bill Murray, fucking Owen Wilson,
Luke Wilson, two brothers and an old man.
And just because I feel like she's also on this like this path of like belonging too, right? Just because she doesn't really know like her parents too much, and it's not like Royal or her parents were ever super like. Normally, like when a kid's adopted, right? Like their parents aren't, or at least I would assume, right, that their parents aren't very upfront with like, oh yeah, you're adopted, like especially when the kids are like young. But I remember her being like, she was saying how when she was young and like
her father would always be like, this is my adopted daughter.
Yeah, exactly. So like when you're a kid, you're just kind of like,
damn,
what the fuck, dude? Like that's that's why she started like smoking. Why would you just
call me your daughter? Like
that's why she'd fucking run away. That's why she freaking breaks all these hearts. It's because she's just wanting to fucking belong, and she's just putting herself in these situations where she feels like she's belonging, and it's just like obviously not working out. And then when she comes along to a situation where she actually like likes someone and someone likes her, it's her fucking it's her brother.
Yeah, fucking A,
God
Jesus.
damn it.
Yeah, for real.
Always sucks when it's your fucking brother.
Yeah, God damn it.
God damn it.
It's like, guess we're just gonna have to be secretly in love.
Yeah. Yeah, both of these movies, I feel like, take characters who are at lower points in their life, and then it's like you get a sense of like the pain that they're going through, but he doesn't necessarily like focus in on it too hard all the time. Like, it's more about the good events that happen in their lives, like that bring them back to like happy or something, you know, like
together.
Yeah, or like, you know, or like back to their purpose in like the other movie, or like, yeah, the family kind of getting back together in this one. It's always so like tear worthy, man, and just like, again, like so snappy and to the point.
Yeah.
Like, you can't do much better in an hour 45, an hour 50, or whatever they are.
Yeah, well, I think
it's
what
about an
he
hour
does
50
like
after-
what he does super good is just like it's not super heavy on all like the heavy stuff all the time, but it's sprinkled throughout enough to where it drives the story along, and it's also developing the characters enough.
Yeah,
like the whole Richie storyline is like something that's pretty fucking heavy. Like he was this, again, we have another fall from grace character who was this at a super high point in his career, like the best freaking tennis player, and all of a sudden he throws a match and you don't understand why. Like, no one understands why, and then he goes and he's just living on this boat, like secluded away from everyone, like away from his family, away from any friends that he fucking has. Like, he's just with like this random fucking this crew, like sending fucking
he's been everywhere, right? He's like gone to like both Antarctic oceans or whatever. He's like the North and South Pole. He's like, and the Nile, and like did not find what he was searching for or something. Like, he's fucking done this shit.
Yeah.
And so you're like, oh, what the fuck is this? Is this like some like money type shit where he like threw it for like some money, and then it's like you go along and it's like, oh shit, he's in love with like his fucking adopted sister, and then the day before like this important match, like she got married, and he's just like, what the fuck? And so he throws it, and then it comes to all this point, right, where he is involved in the investigation that's going on with Bill Murray's character, right? He's going on this investigation because he has this assumption that freaking Margot's, you know, sleeping with someone else, right? Which, you know, obviously
that seems funny.
You know.
Punches the fucking
the glass, and
Bill Murray's
walks
just like,
out.
oh shit, what the fuck?
Yeah, so like he's involved in it, and when he sees the situation of like Margot and Eli on the bridge, like they don't know the conversation that's going on, like they just see them like interacting on the bridge. So Bill Murray's character is assuming that, okay, this is the stuff that's going on, and also because they have the investigation and the accumulation of all the like, this is how many times she was married, and this all the stuff that's going on. Then they do learn that her and Eli did like, you know, have an affair at some point. So they're just assuming that, okay, you know, this is what's going on, like this is the person that she's actually like in love with, blah blah blah. So Richie, after telling Eli like, hey yo, I'm in love with freaking Margot, like seeing that, he's freaking like, damn, what the hell? And that's when he goes and, you know, attempts to, you know, do what he does. And pretty crazy how the story progresses. You know, you also have Chaz, who he's this kid prodigy of like, you know, super good in like business and like saving his money and all this stuff, but his dad doesn't really care about him too much because his other brother is a freaking
super tennis star.
Yeah, is a
they
super
call him the
tennis
Bomber,
star.
right? But it's like Baumer, like Tenenbaum and shit.
Yeah,
the Bomber.
Exactly. And he does all this stuff. Like, doesn't he own like a security fucking company or some shit like that? Something like that. And freaking, you know, obviously his wife dies and he has to go with like, you know, raising his kids by himself, and obviously not having a great relationship with his dad, and his dad coming back and all of a sudden wanting to be in his kid's life. And it's a pretty crazy story. And then finally, like the end, what got me like is the end when obviously freaking Buckley dies, but then Royal goes and he gets the freaking
he saves the kids, right?
Yeah, he saves the kids, but then he goes and he gets a new dog and he brings them, and
the Dalmatian.
The Dalmatian. And then freaking Chaz finally like breaks down to him. Like, that's the only point like you ever see Chaz really like break down, because he's this very like level-headed, uptight like character where he's very much, you know, he thinks about everything. He's very methodical and stuff like that. And to have this moment of like vulnerability with this person that he's hated up until this point, like that was very like heartwarming.
Yeah, definitely.
I love that a lot. Love that.
Well, and then when in the end when Roy dies, he has a heart attack.
Yeah.
And then it's like Chaz was like the only one there, right?
Yeah, he
Saw
was
his
in
death.
the ambulance
Yeah.
with him.
Yeah,
That
that
shit's
made
funny.
me. Yeah, that made me want to cry too.
That shit's funny too, because then doesn't it say like on his little thing, like on his grave or whatever? It's like died tragically, saving his family from a boat
sinking
wreck.
ship.
Yeah, sinking ship. Yeah. God damn it, bro. He's a piece of shit, but I love Royal. He's hella funny, dude.
Exactly.
Yeah, and he makes up for his shit. You know, he seems to have like relatively fixed or be on the road to fixing like his relationships with his kids. You know?
Yeah. I think he redeemed himself.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
He had a very big redemption arc because even by the end, like he, as much as he like didn't want to see his wife go, like they were in that weird relationship, like by the end he's
ready for her to be happy.
yeah, he's ready for her to be happy. He presented her with like the divorce papers, which she obviously had wanted for like a long time, but he just didn't want to, and to give her that, and then just to be cool and all that stuff. Like he had a very, very good redemption arc, which is definitely it turned into one of my favorite movies. Like I told you, like I remember telling you, like at work, like I was like, oh, this is up there, right, with one of my favorite movies. And like my favorite movies fall with like freaking like Good Will Hunting and like shit like that. So this is like up there with that, like for sure, 100%. For me, man, it's up there. It's up there, man. It's up there, man.
For you?
For me.
For me and for you.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Royal Tenenbaums.
Royalties, man.
You want to talk about something else? Surprise theme?
Surprise theme, yeah, dude. What's the surprise theme?
I don't know. What do you want to talk about, Jake? Usually, what our thing is supposed to be, we've really only done it with F, is that like the guest would get to decide what you want to talk about.
He kind of did though, because he was like, oh, let's do Life Aquatic, and we're like, all right, cool.
Oh, that's
let's talk
true.
about Life
That's
Aquatic.
true. Okay, good. I'm glad. But yeah, what do you want to talk about?
I don't know. What do you guys have coming up?
I mean, next week we are. So, how far have you gotten on Moon Knight, dude? How far have you gotten on Moon Knight?
I've only gotten to
Do catch up.
episode 4.
We could do a little catch up for next
okay.
week. We'll start. Yeah. So let's go. Episode 1 all the way, or?
Well, I mean, we
just-
talked about episode 1. So what?
Oh, 1 and
okay,
2.
so
Yeah.
what do you? So if we're going, so up to episode 4, like, what are your thoughts, Jake, on up to episode 4 about Moon Knight?
About Moon Knight?
Yeah.
It's a crazy show about fucking like split personality, like superhero type of vibe, like ancient gods and all that. It's a lot. Yeah, it's a sick show.
It's some shit, man.
It's some shit.
Hell yeah, I think
It took me a
It's some
minute.
good shit.
It's one of these shows for me personally. I've really liked the show, but I've had to watch each episode more than once because I don't know why. Like I've missed parts, or like I haven't been able to. Maybe I'm not following it as right, but so yeah.
I mean, like a lot does happen in each episode, I would say.
Yeah.
And like it is definitely.
Well, at first, because I didn't have any background on Moon Knight, so I had no idea like who he was or anything. So I was trying to discover like what his powers were and everything. You know, like one of the first scenes is when he wakes up and he's fucking like he's tied to that bed and there's like fucking sand around it, and you're just I'm like, what the fuck is this all about? You know, like.
And then you find out it's literally just because it's him taking precautions.
It's him taking like precautions. So that's what I thought. I'm like, oh, dude, he must have like some uncontrollable thing like right off the bat where it's like he has to make sure he has to like track himself. You know.
Yeah, I would say like for me, this is like I would agree with you. Like each episode I've watched it a couple times for sure, and I'm normally not like that with shows just in general, especially with like these like the Disney Plus shows. I feel like with like the Disney Plus Marvel shows, I feel like everything like. There is a lot of Easter eggs, but you can catch a lot like first viewing, so you don't necessarily need to watch like a shit ton, like
Yeah, Marvel's not very
through.
subtle all the time. They're they're a lot definitely like kind of in your face Easter egg shit.
But like this, each episode I've definitely watched at least like twice. Like the first episode I watched twice.
Yeah, I think
the second
I've watched most of them
episode
twice.
I think the only one I honestly haven't watched a couple times is probably 3, and I think episode 5, just because I haven't gotten around to watching it a second time. But yeah, this series is honestly, I think, I think Loki is my favorite, but then this is my immediate like second favorite.
For sure, same here, dude. That's exactly what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
But I think it all depends on what happens in the last episode, not to get into spoilers for episode 5, because Jake's here and he hasn't seen episode 5. But I think even you can see it from episode 4, right? Like, there's a lot that needs to be wrapped up. And by episode 4, there's only a couple episodes left, so you're not too sure, like, how all that's going to go down, right?
Yeah, and you know, one crazy thing that I heard, too, I don't know how credible it was. It's not like I'm a fact checker or anything like that, but I did see an article a couple days ago that said this finale is going to be the shortest of all the MCU shows at, like, 42 minutes, maybe 49 minutes or something like that, but it doesn't breach 50 minutes. And you know how long those credits are. I hope it's fake, too, because it does feel like a lot to wrap up for sure. But... I mean, did you guys hear about the Halloween special, though?
Yeah, there's like a Werewolf by Night, like, Halloween special,
Yeah,
right?
Werewolf by Night was like a comic book, like an old-ass one that Moon Knight originally appeared in. Like, that was his first ever appearance.
So maybe that's going to be like a crossover?
Yeah,
Probably.
or maybe kind of pick up with him a little bit at least, you know, figure out where he's at.
Exactly.
Refresher on his...
Either that or, I mean, I don't really know. This is a Disney-produced Halloween special, and granted, fucking... Mark Spector's not really one that you can take too lightly. Like, his situation's pretty heavy. Granted, it can be funny, but like, I feel like a special, especially surrounded around a holiday, might not take itself so seriously.
Yeah.
At least that's kind of what I'm expecting from these, because they're gonna do a Guardians Christmas one too.
Well, but I don't know. It's a Halloween one, so you never know. It could be
Darker, yeah.
It could be a little bit on the darker side. Especially with where Marvel's going, like we have Moon Knight, which is pretty dark, especially heavy on like the themes that we're seeing, like with DID and stuff like that. It could be pretty nuts, especially we had the Blade cameo in the end credit scene for Eternals. We have the Black Knight. We obviously have Daredevil and Punisher, which could so I don't know. I think there's a lot of promise for like the darker side of the MCU, which I hope we get to see. Yeah. But you never know. There's no telling what Marvel's gonna do, because they like to do some shit. They always like to do some shit.
I think we might get a hint of some of that darkness and some of that crazier side with Multiverse of Madness. I think some of that is definitely gonna...
That's where they're gonna open it up, maybe.
Yeah, just because, like, I feel like they are definitely gonna let loose in terms of, like... I don't know, some of the images I've been seeing look kind of hardcore, like a lot of darker situations going on. They have, like, that fucked up zombie Strange, like, where half his face is, like, torn off and shit like that. Like, and I don't know how much they've stuck to it, but way back when... Kevin Feige said that this was going to be hands down like the scariest Marvel movie. Like, it was supposedly going to be like the first Marvel horror movie in the whole entire thing or whatever. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't think it'll be that scary, but I think it'll definitely be a little bit more intense.
More suspenseful.
Yeah, a little bit crazier than some of the other stuff we've seen.
I don't know, man. We'll see. Just because I remember Kevin Feige promising before this, like, this was going to be, like, the craziest and, like, like, the darkest. Or, no, just, like, the Moon Knight series was going to be, like, it's going to push boundaries on, like, the PG-13 and all that stuff. And I really don't feel like we've gotten that. At least, like, that's just what I feel.
I think, in a way, like, because I think what happens is, like, those companies or that society or whatever the fuck it is that determines what these movies are, they don't necessarily just go off of, like, the images being shown on screen, but also the themes that you're dealing with. And I think once you get to episode 5, it's, like, something that is, like, I don't know, in terms of, like, what they're showing on the platform, it is definitely the probably one of the darkest, like, things they've ever done.
I think it's definitely the most serious themes that they've had to tackle, and I think they've done really well with it.
Yeah,
for sure. But yeah, I think it's my second favorite series for sure. Depending on how it wraps up, it could be my favorite, but Loki's my favorite, and then right now I think so too. I
think episode 6 would have to do quite a lot, in order to push it to my number 1. But yeah, because Loki's pretty fucking epic, dude. Like, Loki's awesome.
Yeah.
What the last episode of Loki does, like, the last episode of Loki set up a lot for just, like, the MCU in general.
Yeah.
And oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, it definitely, Loki definitely, like, opened up that whole, like, multiverse possibilities, different timelines, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He basically started.
It started it.
Yeah, he like started phase 4 in a sense. Like everything that we were getting in between, I would say felt like kind of aimless compared to like what we had back in the day. You know, like I think for a while we were rolling with this train of like, okay, every single movie we were getting a sneak peek of what's coming next, right?
Mhm.
Whereas after Endgame, I think there's a little bit of a lull with the stuff that they were putting out. Not that it wasn't awesome, and like I still enjoyed a lot of the shows, but like Loki's really where you kind of started to get a sense of like, oh, okay, this is what they're gonna start doing, like with everybody and like every other show or whatever.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah.
And Moon Knight's just so like standalone, like on its own. Like there's really no like connection to anything else except for like some stuff in episode 5, which I won't get into because Jacob hasn't seen episode 5. But I like that it's standalone. Like I like that we haven't really had a crazy connection to all this stuff, because I feel like sometimes it banks too hard on that connection and the MCU being like, oh, we're this big, like we're gonna connect everything, and I feel like sometimes that holds a movie back or something, or holds a show back, because it's like, I gotta tie it into everything, you know, I gotta find some way to, you know, immaculately tie everything all in, which this being so just like on its own, I think serves it so well. Because like it's in its own crazy like little it's in its own crazy little world, like nothing else has been like this.
The one thing I could see them doing with this is like you could almost treat this as like a springboard for the stuff like you're saying that we're gonna get with people like Blade and Moon Knight, right? Which is almost more like monsters and magic and mystical shit rather than like like aside from Doctor Strange, a lot of the like threats we've dealt with have just been like aliens, right? Like big bad guys from outer space. And so like I'm excited that they're kind of delving more into like the more like magical mystical shit. It's cool, dude. I love it. Like feels like Doctor Strange is gonna be a big one. Obviously, it's literally called In the Fucking Multiverse of Madness, so not In the Fucking Multiverse of Madness, but that'd be cool. Did you see that
fucking in the multiverse of madness?
Doctor Strange fucking in the multiverse of madness. Did you guys see that? I think. Wait, didn't you tell us about Raimi being down to do Spider-Man?
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of really good like.
He's down to do Spider-Man 4 with Tobey. Yeah. Or if Tobey wants to do it.
What?
But he said he said anything's possible, right? And he's like, he apparently working on Doctor Strange kind of revived his love for like superhero movies again. He's like, I'm down.
Yeah. And I saw a lot of like I've seen a lot of positive Sam Raimi like superhero stuff. Like I think this really like put that battery back in his back for superhero stuff.
That would be dope. Like so, Tobey Maguire and Spider-Man 4, like Spider-Man now, like older Spider-Man.
Yeah, because what he said was since Spider-Man 3 like happened, right? Spider-Man 3 was like the movie that we saw was not the movie Sam Raimi wanted to make, right? There was definitely a different Spider-Man 3 that he had in mind, but I don't know what
Sony forced Venom into the movie.
Yeah,
Venom was never supposed to be in the movie.
Yeah. And then he wanted to repay the fans back by giving a really good like Spider-Man 4, but he just couldn't get the script done in time, so he just was like, okay, I just don't want to do it because I don't want to repeat, right? I don't want a bigger letdown of what happened with Spider-Man 3.
Well, also too, I think they pulled it out from under them, bro, because I want to say that like I remember seeing a video where it's like you see Tobey Maguire in an interview talking about like the idea for Spider-Man 4, which was basically going to be like Vulture, like Spider-Man versus Vulture. And it was filmed like maybe a few months before they announced the Amazing Spider-Man series. And like honestly, Sony is like not the best when it comes to big like budget movie decisions. I would say like a lot of their stuff and a lot of the things they decide to do don't always work that well. Like only the shit they've done in tandem with Marvel has really killed it, you know?
Yeah.
And so
anything that Sam Raimi has done has.
Yes. And so like I could see that very much being the case of like they were like, no, you know what? You fucked up. You didn't put the thing that we wanted in there, right? So we're going to go with this one now. Sorry, guys.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's down to do a Spider-Man 4. Basically said first Doctor Strange, I think I saw a quote where he was like, yeah, I'm gonna show these kids how to make a fucking superhero movie, you know, or how to make like a comic book movie, you know, and I think he definitely said that working on this definitely made him more open to doing a Spider-Man 4 because he's like, oh yeah, anything's possible. He's like, so I'm game for it, you know. If well, I think honestly, Toby's down, especially after being in, you know, No Way Home. I think Andrew Garfield would be down, but he did say he's taking a break from acting, and like Daniel was saying the other day at work, like he has done like a lot of like roles like back to back where it's like, you know, mentally like taking a toll. So I think it's good. Like I definitely love seeing my favorite actors a lot, but when they get into roles where it does take a toll on their like mental health, like
Amazing Spider-Man 3, he lost fucking Gwen. I mean, he could use that dark. Yeah. To be like.
But he's done a lot of movies back to back where he's like really had to get in, like mentally had to get into a pretty like tough state. So it's like I don't want to see him get into so like you said, like for Spider-Man 3 he has to get into like a pretty like darker state because of what happened in The Amazing Spider-Man 2. And if he feels like he needs to take a break, like I want him to take a break, and I don't want him to jump into something off of the sake of like just for something I want to see. Yeah, you know. Yeah. For as much as I love Andrew Garfield, take your break, homie, and then once you feel good,
come back and give us an awesome Spider-Man movie.
Get back and give us one, man, because I know he can for sure.
Of course he can, dude. You can see it in No Way Home, dude. Like he loves playing that character.
Yeah, I feel like he's the most like in terms of like how like witty Spider-Man is, with how like he has his little quips and like his comebacks. Like he's the most like comic book accurate to me. Yeah, like I saw like that scene in No Way Home when he's talking to Max and freaking Max is like, you're not even cool anymore, right? And then he goes like and then does like the little like like that's something like Spider-Man would do like in the fucking comics, dude. Like he'd be like, this fucking like
he's super animated. Yeah,
really animated. Mm-hmm. And when he's like swinging, he's like, hey Max, like how are you? And he's like, whoop, and does a little like when it like, dude, that part, like
it's good shit for sure. Yeah, I love it. It is good. I would say that like it's I don't know, I feel like people have said it before, but like I think Toby pulls off Peter Parker the best. I think Andrew pulls off Spider-Man the best, and I think Tom Holland is a pretty good blend of both. He's not bad, especially in this last movie. I think this last movie they really gave us like a good Peter Parker story with Tom Holland. Like
Sam Raimi said Tom Holland's his favorite Spider-Man.
No fucking way.
Yeah.
Really?
That's treasonous. Oh my god. He made the fucking original movie.
When I look at it, it makes sense because just when you look at kind of what Spider-Man was, like just like a high school kid that grew into this, like I think Tom Holland like fits it perfectly, so I can understand it.
I think what it is too is it's like, even though like fans have complained that like Tom Holland's individual movies, he's not necessarily had like the toughest of times, you know, like he always has like Tony Stark tech backing him or something like that, like blah blah blah. It's not really like nose to the ground, like comes from nothing Peter Parker shit.
Yeah,
he's gotten to do the most Spider-Man-y stuff in terms of like fighting Thanos on another planet with Iron Man and like all the Doctor Strange and shit like that, or like he goes and like does a fucking magic spell that reverses everybody knowing who he is, like blah blah blah, like all that shit. He's gotten to do the most like comic booky stuff as a Spider-Man for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not just like fight 3 villains.
Yeah, like or 2 in Andrew Garfield's case. Yeah. Like, which is funny because they kind of joke about that, right? Where in the movie they're like, "How many? What's the craziest fight you've ever been in?" He's like, He's like, I fought an alien from space once. It was like a goop thing or whatever. Yeah. And he's like, oh, that's so cool. He's like, oh yeah. He's like, I fought an alien on another planet. And
he was purple. He was purple.
Yeah.
Yeah, shit like that.
And Andrew Garfield's like, oh man, craziest thing that happened to me was like a lizard guy who tried to,
he's like a rhino in like a mech.
Yeah, rhino in a mech suit. He's like, I don't know.
Yeah, but he fought the lizard guy, the rhino, the fucking Electro.
That's about it.
And what's his name?
Oh, Green Goblin. That's right. Yeah, Green Goblin's in that last one.
But like, yeah, you had fucking Toby fought the original Green Goblin.
Hell
he fought
yeah.
fucking Doc Ock, and he fought freaking Venom, and he fought freaking Sandman.
Mm-hmm. And kind of Harry Osborn too.
At once.
Yeah, he did fight Venom and
Said, let me
Sandman.
take care of these homies at once.
Yo, but no lie though, he gets his ass kicked.
He does.
And then Harry has to come and help him out.
He gets worked hard.
Yeah.
In the first movie by Green Goblin, he's getting wrecked, bro. Like he's getting wrecked hard. Yeah. And then and then that last movie, honestly, in all the movies, he gets wrecked pretty hard.
Yeah, he does a good job, I would say, in 2, which is kind of like his peak anyways, you know? Like,
Yeah.
but he does a good job fighting Doc Ock once he kind of like... Because in that movie, he has a, like, whole thing where he doesn't really want to be Spider-Man anymore, right? Because it's kind of like getting in the way of his personal life. Like, he wants to go be able to hang out with Mary Jane and shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so he's losing his powers, which is like a trippy story, but it's fucking awesome.
Isn't it so crazy how, like, at the time, like, people didn't like the organic webs. Shit?
Yeah.
Like, the shit coming out of just, like, his body.
People they eventually did it in the comic books, too. But for a long time, since the 60s, it had just been web shooters.
Yeah,
that was the very first time they ever did it.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Because when I watched it as a kid, I always liked that shit. I was always like,
cool too.
I want that shit to happen to me. Like, that shit was crazy.
It can just produce in my body. Like,
yeah. That shit, they make fun of it in the movie.
I don't have to have a gadget to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Dude, so, yeah. A lot of shit got announced at, like, CinemaCon, bro, which I'm fucking excited for. Avatar 2 officially got a title, Way of the Water.
Way of the Water.
They dropped the names for the next 3 movies after that, because there's 5 movies, so there's, like, a 5-movie plan until, like, I think saw like 2028.
Yeah.
Obviously, I think that those dates will probably like change
and shift. Yeah,
sure, they'll probably change by like a couple years. Honestly, just it depends on like what goes down with like filming and who's still down for it by that time.
Well, I mean, it depends too, because like one thing that he could have done, depending on how prepared he was for this shit, is like something that the Lord of the Rings trilogy did. Is they shot all 3 movies at once. And then edited them together so that they could come out in each successive year, like right away.
Yeah.
So you think maybe like in this whole time that freaking Avatar hasn't been doing anything, they've just shot all the movies?
Well, dude, like, I mean, fucking James Cameron is obviously paying attention to what Marvel's doing. Like, you remember there was the whole shit of them going back and forth of releasing Titanic again to break the record because, like, Endgame broke the record for, like, highest selling movie. And that's how they did it too. Infinity War and Endgame were both shot at the same time. Like, reshoots probably here and there, to fix shit up or whatever, or add people in and whatnot. But yeah, I could see it. Like, especially if he's been in production for even just a few years.
4 movies though?
No, maybe not all of them. But I'm saying if he has 2 of them done, that's already a big leg up on trying to get through 4 more. That's like basically halfway through. Yeah. Without any
like,
post,
we got a few years to work with, depending on who wants to still be with it after those movies. Okay, because I mean, even like because the lead actor, I forget what his name is because he hasn't really done anything.
It's Jake Sully.
Jake Sully, the guy who did freaking Clash of the Titans and shit like that.
He's awesome. I like that. I like those movies.
But he's even like he's like 50 something now, right? Like he's pretty.
He's that. Oh, Sam Worthington. His name is Sam Worthington.
He's pretty old now, isn't he? He's an old man.
I don't know if he's 50, but he might be in like his 40s. Yeah. He's up there.
Because he even said a quote like, he's like, well, in the movie, he's like, Jake Sully already has like a wheelchair. He's like, and by the time filming like the last one, who knows? I might even like
be in a wheelchair.
I might be in a wheelchair like myself, like so. I don't like. I'm excited. We'll see. I like how this is switching up like. We're so used to just like getting a trio of movies, like let's do a fucking a trilogy of movies, right? Like where this is like 5. Like I want to see that, like I like
plays out.
I want to see a little bit more, like
it's a lot of time to work.
Like
with.
it's
see if they have time to delve into like the
just get into it a little bit more, you know.
What would be cool if for this next one, Way of the Water, is if it's like you end up realizing that there is like a whole nother section of the Na'vi that live underwater.
Whoa.
And everything happens underwater in this next movie. Because that'd be some cool 3D shit to play with, bro.
Yeah.
And he said that, and I've already seen
because there's a whole planet, dude. We just saw like a section of it.
And bro, he's doing it. He's doing it again. I've seen the fucking reports and shit like that or whatever, that he's trying to break as much reality as he can with the 3D tech that he has. And considering how fucking wild Avatar was back in 2009,
I can't even imagine.
I'm hella excited. I'm
pretty sure they made like special cameras like
for Avatar. Yeah. So I'm hella excited to see honestly that part, the technological side of it, because again, that's the highlight of the first movie, right? Is like how immersed you get in that world.
Yeah. And I think we've come the original movie came out in 2009. Like we're 13 years removed from that, so like there's so like technology's come so far, dude. Like look at how good like Lightyear looks. Like Lightyear's a completely animated like movie that looks That looks great. So
Unreal.
Well, not only that, but like think about how well James Cameron knows how to use the technology of the time. Because if you look at Avatar, the end scene, honestly, is better than some of the shit we're seeing coming out in the MCU right now. Like in terms of how it looks, like quality of the CGI.
Yeah.
It's rivaling and honestly, I think bettering some of the MCU like show stuff.
Even throughout the whole movie.
Yeah.
Like some of the parts.
It's good. So the whatever he's gonna do with what we have now is probably gonna be fucking ridiculous. They're gonna look crazy.
Yeah. Hopefully the story is just good to go along with it too, right?
Yeah.
Because I mean,
well, hey man, think about it like this: Terminator, it's pretty good, but Terminator 2 is fucking awesome. So
that's true.
He might pull 1-2 punch.
I mean,
you know?
I don't know how far of the plot they can go, other than like humans are just gonna come back and they have to fight them off again, though. Somehow.
Yeah. Well, like you said, there's a whole planet, right? We only got a certain section, so maybe now, like, because again, like it's 2009. I think with that, like, just that plot in general, like that's just a very just like standard, like, colonizer ass freaking plot,
for sure.
right? That's a pretty standard, and I feel like. We're pretty far removed from that. I think we could still there's still movies like they're out that, but I think, James Cameron's a smart enough person to probably be like, all right, I can make like a better, just like quality movie, like in general, like you can make like with the whole world, you can make just a freaking, what are the people called again? Freaking the Na'vi. You can make just like a Na'vi centric movie, right?
Yeah.
Like you don't have to have
humans.
Something that can push this is like literally just have no fucking humans in this whatsoever.
I agree.
I guess you're right.
Have no humans in this whatsoever.
It would be cool.
I don't want to see a single human in these next 5 movies. I mean, until the last one. Because I can see the very last one, like humans just coming back again. Like I feel like at some point you have to.
What if like so then even though they won against the humans, like the tree got burnt, right? Like they're kind of fucked up in terms of like the tribe that we have seen. Like they don't really have like a home, right?
But that was just I think that was just that one tree. When they go back to like the super sacred.
That's
tree,
true.
right?
But like the great tree is where they live though. And right?
Yeah,
like
that's true.
So they're like kind of on the down. So what if like there is a water tribe, so to speak, and like they've always been at war or some shit, bro.
Maybe.
And then like they come up because they're like, oh, they just got fucked up. We're gonna come in and like swoop or something real quick.
Yeah. Ooh, I can
they could be like the villains, whatever. Like
Maybe like a civil war.
Yeah, like well, it wouldn't. I mean, that's not what we call a civil war. We fight with our own interplanetary species. Like it's the same shit. Like,
I guess. Oh yeah, I guess if they weren't. But
yeah. It's like different
It's just
nations, kind of, or like
nations.
something like that.
Do you fuck with the war?
Do you fuck with the war?
Little Dicky. Freaking
Because I think one of the titles is like Sky too or something like that.
It's like
let's see. I'm gonna find them real quick.
It's Way of the Water. It's The Seed Bearer, which is a pretty crazy freaking pretty crazy title. James Cameron, you're snapping on that one, Mr. Seed Bearer. There's the freaking it starts with a T. I forget what it is, and then the last one is like the Search for Awa or something like that.
Yeah.
Tolkien Writer or something like that is like the 4th one.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, the Tolkien Writer.
The Tolkien Writer, yeah.
Oh, okay, here
something like that.
Okay. So we have Way of the Water, the Seed Bear, and then just Quest for Awa. I guess those are the only ones that are confirmed. So maybe.
Wait, no, there's a 4th one. No, yeah.
I thought there was too. I remember seeing it. Wasn't it like the son of something or whatever?
It was the Tolkien Writer or something like that.
Oh yeah. That's right. Like, or whatever. What's the guy called? Fuck. It's like the great bird or something probably.
Yeah, one of those things they write.
The something
right?
writer. The something writer.
Yeah.
It's Ghost Rider.
The Ghost Rider. Oh yeah, Tolkien Rider. You're
See,
right.
I was right. Ooh, I got it straight off of
memory.
memory.
You got it, dude.
Woohoo! But yeah, what else at CinemaCon? Something else that got announced, or not announced, but I think something we're excited for that I showed you. Freaking Black Phone. Dude.
Oh fuck, dude, that looks great.
Black Phone. Did you check out the trailer for that? You were back there, right?
Yeah.
When we saw the trailer
Ethan Hawke.
with Ethan Hawke.
Yeah, that looks creepy.
That shit looks good.
Ethan Hawke's on a comeback. Dude.
I want to see that.
I haven't seen him in shit in a while, and then now, or maybe I just haven't paid attention.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's in
No, he's been
freaking
making a comeback.
yeah,
lately.
in Moon Knight, and then now he's in freaking Black Phone, and that shit looks crazy, bro.
Crazy.
Like he's
dude.
on some like serial killer. He looks like reminds me of like the Joker type shit,
Yeah.
bro. Like honestly, like as soon as I saw that, I was like, damn, this dude could play a Joker that I think could rival Heath
Yeah.
Ledger's.
He could
For
be pretty
sure.
good. Yeah, he looks
100%.
really scary in this.
Yeah,
Like,
with his long hair, he's
definitely terrifying.
With the different masks that he's wearing.
yeah.
What'd you put in this?
Yeah.
Salt and pepper?
So that was like, I think that's the second trailer that got shown. There is a first trailer.
that one I didn't see.
So in the first trailer, I think they get a little bit more into like, so in the second trailer you see how he's like, you know, the phone obviously isn't connected to anything, but
Yeah.
he is just like listening to like the spirits of like the kids.
Yeah.
In the first, it gets into a little bit more, like it talks a little bit more about how like those spirits are like obviously of the past kids that the dude's freaking abducted and probably killed,
Yeah.
but they're like training that kid to like help him like escape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it seems like.
Yeah.
So it looks like he's kind of like maybe like this kid that's supposed to like escape. I don't know, cause like the dude even says like he's like, oh, you're special, man. Like you're, you know, like, oh, you're a special kid.
Yeah.
So like the kids are all like training him. They tell him like the combination to like the lock that he's talking about, and then there's even like a point in like the first trailer, because in the second trailer you see it for a second, for like a little bit, but you see Ethan Hawke's character like in a chair, like sort of just like sitting there. In the first trailer, they make it a point that I guess he like sleeps in that chair, just kind of like facing the door.
Oh.
So they're like, all right, you gotta like wait till he's asleep, and then you have to like kind of like slowly like go around and blah blah and shit like that. So it's like,
That's fine.
I don't do scary movies like that, but I'm
This
gonna
looks so good, though,
yeah, I'm gonna
dude.
have to check this
damn
one
it.
out for sure.
It's like
bro.
a puzzle just to escape his freaking
Fortress.
fortress.
A scary escape room, dude. And then like I think like his sister, it looks like the kid's sister's connected to it.
Yeah,
Connect
she's
to
like
it somehow.
has a dream about him or something.
Yeah. And she's helping out the cops. So I don't know. Like
Yeah.
I said, I'm not normally into freaking scary movies, but I'll peep this one for
Yeah, this
sure.
looks good. I'm down for it too. I've learned to appreciate scary movies in the last like 3 or 4 years or something like that. Like you do have to like obviously deal with the fact that you're gonna get your shit wrecked and like, because some of them go fucking hard, man, and they're scary as fuck. But
Yeah.
but they are also a lot of the times like, well, no, not a lot of the times. I won't say that, because there's a lot of really bad horror movies too. But you can find the ones that are super super well executed and just like really really good movies if you bear through the scariness of it all. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I think this is gonna be one of them. I'm down for it.
Mhm. And then I think
You guys see the new Jurassic Park's coming out?
Yeah, Jurassic World.
yes,
That looks
Jurassic
good.
World. I'm ready for
I
that
saw the
shit.
trailer for that today.
That looks
Mhm.
good.
That one looks crazy.
You got the older cast coming
They're
back.
just like
Mhm.
riding through a city. Fucking dude just gets like chomped by right there in the trailer. Just
Yeah.
a dude getting chomped by a fucking
T-Rex or something
T-Rex.
like
So
that.
it's just like
Yeah.
like riding a scooter or some shit. I was cracking up at that.
It's awesome.
Should have gets eaten on some Esteban shit, bro.
Yeah. Esteban!
Esteban. I'm excited for that, dude. I've
Yeah.
enjoyed this latest trilogy
Sequels,
of
yeah.
These Jurassic Park sequels.
Yeah.
Chris Pratt's obviously pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
I
good.
love
What
Chris
you think
Pratt.
about
I love
him
me
in-
some Chris Pratt.
What's
Real
her name
life,
too? She does
I
pretty
think
good
just as
too.
an actor, he's good.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's exciting that they're bringing the old guys.
Yeah.
It's gonna be great
Yeah,
to
they're
see
doing
Jeff
they're doing a
Goldblum.
clash of
Yeah,
the two.
you would get
like,
Jeff
trilogies.
Goldblum back. Fucking
All of them.
Yeah. What's her name? Damn it. I usually know her name. Laura Dern.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Laura Dern, and then I don't remember the other guy's name. Like
Neither do I.
the adventure guy or the other doctor. But it's gonna be awesome. I love how like fuck, I forget what they say, but it's like an old line that the main guy said in the original movies when they're going with the T-Rex. So like,
Yeah, don't move.
And then
Yeah.
like Chris Pratt says it at the same time.
And they like look at each other.
yeah, it's like that's some funny shit.
You're
right
moving,
there.
motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm pretty
that's some good
down.
shit.
I'm pretty down for that one.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Mhm.
Someone's probably gonna die.
I think so too.
So
I feel like that's the thing that you do at the end of your big franchises nowadays.
Kill off some
You
people.
Kill off a character or 2.
Mhm.
Yeah. Make the tears run.
hell yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm excited, dude.
Mm-hmm. Lots of good stuff. It's gonna be a good summer.
It's gonna be a great summer. We
Yeah.
got Obi-Wan coming up. We got Doctor Strange coming next week. We got the finale of Moon Knight coming next week.
Oh my gosh.
We got Stranger Things coming. What else? We got Thor: Love and Thunder coming during the summer.
Mhm.
Obviously, how the DC shit got pushed back, but
Yeah.
it's all good, man. It's all good.
chilling,
I'm not really
whatever.
tripping about the DC stuff.
Yeah.
Freaking.
They should restart with the new Batman.
Yep, exactly.
Just let's go for everything from there.
Get Ezra Miller out of there. Get all the problematic people out of there.
Yeah, man.
Start fresh. Get Henry Cavill back, but I know they're not going to do that.
They
They're
won't,
gonna
but
do it
he's a good
straight.
Superman.
They're going to do Supergirl, which I'm fine with.
That's cool.
I'm cool with that. I just wish could have got a little bit more with Henry Cavill because he was a really good Superman. But
He was.
I miss him.
we'll see what they got going. Yeah, then we'll have like the new freaking Game of Thrones prequel
Yeah.
during the summer.
House of the Dragon.
Yeah. Excited for that.
Yeah.
I'm super excited, dude. It's gonna be a freaking good summer if you guys are listening to the pod and if you guys keep listening because we're
Mhm.
gonna do some shit. We're gonna do more themed episodes like we got freaking this one going on right here. You know, we had the whole Life Aquatic stuff going on.
Yeah.
This was our first Wes Anderson episode. This dude's got so many good films, so we're definitely gonna do a couple episodes sprinkled here and there.
Mhm.
And we'll do more like obviously director themed episode, maybe strictly actor themed episodes,
that's
like
cool.
you know, like we did a Ryan Reynolds one earlier, but we didn't really dress up. But you know, we'll do some other ones where
Yeah.
we'll dress up, you know. But yeah, I don't got much more. If you guys got anything else,
I think we're
No,
chilling.
no.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for
That was a
having
good
me.
one.
dude.
Of
Hell
course,
yeah,
man.
Cool.
thanks
Thank
Jacob
you for
for
coming.
coming on.
That shit was
Hell yeah.
awesome, bro.
I was super
Had a lot
down to
of fun.
do, you know, the Wes Anderson stuff, and I saw how excited you were, so I was like, hey, let's
Fuck yeah.
freaking
Hell
let's
yeah.
do it. It
Let's
was
do
good
it.
talking about it. But
Mhm.
hell yeah, guys, that was episode 11. I realized I didn't even say the freaking episode.
dang.
Dude, we didn't even do the clap.
I
at the
know,
beginning.
I
Oh, we're
know,
so bad.
I
We're
know.
so bad. Look at we
I
took
know.
1 week off,
I
dude.
know.
And we
I know.
forgot how to freaking podcast. But it's all good.
Trust me, I know.
We'll get back into it.
Yes,
But
we will.
again, thank y'all if you guys have been listening to it, if you guys have been interacting with us on Instagram. You saw I did a little interaction today with like the little beanie.
That was awesome.
I saw if you guys, you
That
know,
was
there
great,
was
by
one
the
person
way.
who guessed it, dude. If one person guessed it, that was freaking awesome.
Yeah?
But yeah, we'll have talk with the boy Daniel. We'll have a giveaway going on here soon, like we talked
Mhm.
about last episode.
Mhm.
We'll get some good stuff going in there, so you
Yeah.
know it'll be a good first giveaway. But yeah, we'll have some stuff going on. Again, thanks for everyone that's listening. We have fun doing this every Saturday.
Mhm.
Hopefully you have as much fun listening to it as we have as much fun making it. I mean, we're just gonna keep doing it as long as, you know, we want to keep sitting
Yeah.
here and talking about shit. As long as there's shit for us to talk about,
We're gonna talk
we're
about
gonna
it.
we're gonna fucking talk about it because
Yeah.
we watch a lot of movies. We
Yeah.
play a lot of we do a lot of shit. So it's like might as well just fucking talk about it.
Yep.
But yeah, like again, find us on Instagram at Too High for TV
Mhm.
at TOOHIGH4 the number 4 TV. You know what it is. And find us on Instagram at Too High for TV 11. You know, 11 because 1 and 1. You know, get some lucky numbers
Gotta
in there.
get some lucky now.
Find us on YouTube at Too High for TV as well. Hit the subscribe button, leave some
Mhm.
likes, leave some comments, interact with us on Instagram as well. You know, I do some stuff here and there, some questions, some polls. If there's some movies you guys want us to watch, hit us in the DMs. We'll try to get that going on.
Yeah, we got to do a fan suggested episode soon.
We'll do a fan suggested episode. I know we have some. I know French Dispatch was one.
Yeah.
We have Clockwork Orange.
Mhm.
We have a bunch of other stuff I forgot, but I have all that stuff saved on
Yeah.
my phone, so
Yeah.
I'll look at it and then maybe I'll do another poll. See, you know there's some new people that I've been following. Thank y'all if you've been following, but I'll do another question to see what other movies we got out there, and then we'll do some we'll do a one fan episode part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4.
Yeah,
We'll sprinkle them all out through there. We got
Definitely.
there's a lot of stuff we can do. We got a lot of stuff planned too in terms of reaction and shit like that. So
yeah.
we've got a lot of stuff in the bag. If you
Yep.
guys enjoy it, stay tuned. And yeah, it's been Too High for TV. This is Ryan Madrona signing off.
It's Danny Valdez signing off.
Thank y'all for listening, and we'll see y'all again next week.
Yes, sir.
Woo!
Give me the clap.
1, 2, and 3, motherfucker. Yay.